Hello, and welcome to Famicast 193, your Famicast for the early part of March 2021 and the start of the year of the Famicast. That's right, folks. We've been around for 10 years, and we're kind of having a bit of a celebratory episode here. But first, just to kick things off, you already know who I am probably, but just in case you don't, my name's Danny. Hey, what's up? And today, I'm joined, as always, by James Charlton.
We're kicking it retro today, boys. Famicast a go-go, baby.
There it is.
Remember that?
I do. I'm
bringing it back.
It's a long time ago. And bringing it back to Mr. Cat Drugs, Ty Schubert himself. He's here too.
Yes, I am here.
That's right. That's right.
Everyone is here.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, Famicast 193. Like I said, we're doing something a little bit different here. So as of March 11th in North America, and I think the West, and then March 12th here, 2011, that was the first time we actually had an episode of the show out there. So it has been pretty much 10 years to the day since we started doing this. Of course, we started this.
We should have recorded it tomorrow, and then it would have been exactly 10 years, Danny.
Well, sorry, I need to have some time to do the edit. Excuse me.
Excuses.
But anyways, yeah, we got for the first part of the show, we're going to do some of the normal stuff, some new business, some news, a little bit of anime trash unboxing and stuff like that. And then we're going to get into a special feature, basically talking about the early days of kind of like pre-Famicast. And James is going to like head those segments. So look forward to that. Yes. Yeah. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and kick things off with new business. And Russ Greeno already firing on 4 cylinders there. We didn't get the Famicast in the UK until 3 years later. Thanks, Reggie. Well, there it
is. Right. Love it.
Yeah.
That's some deep level trolling there. I love it.
Yeah. But for the new business, I'll go ahead and kick things off here. So, oh my God, honestly, I've been so busy for like the past 2 weeks, like basically right after the last show. I can tell you a lot about septic tank subsidies, garbage collection point, environmental maintenance assistance systems in rural Saitama if you're interested, but I'm not going to do that today.
Sorry, I've just gone cross-eyed. Say that again.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But, there's a game that I forgot to talk about that I actually did a review on. Our buddies at Chuhai Labs actually gave us a code for this, and I went ahead and kind of tackled it. But this is, of course, Halloween Forever. And
you haven't talked about this before?
I don't think I did.
We got stuff on the channel, but you just haven't talked about it.
Yeah. So right now, for the video viewers, I'm pulling up some screenshots right now, so please understand. But there we go. Yeah, so if you don't know what this is like a 8-bit platformer where you control this little guy. His name's Pumpkin Man, and you have projectiles that you can shoot out of your mouth, and you're basically destroying like other monster like characters. It's really kind of like a love letter to like those old classic kind of spooky games and stuff like that, kind of like a Castlevanias and Ghosts and Goblins and stuff like that.
Splatterhouse.
I guess you could, yeah. Those little guys with the chainsaws kind of remind me of Splatterhouse guy there too. So, but yeah, so this game, it originally came out I think in 2016 on PC, and it has since came out on PS4. And just most recently switched, thanks to Chuhai Games taking on the publishing duties and stuff like that.
Kero Blaster. That was another game it reminded me of. Do you remember that one? Yeah. So like with the visuals, that's like the first thing you'll notice. The game looks really sharp. It runs really smoothly too, which is important whenever you need some kind of precision platforming type of stuff. You kind of need to be on point, and this is perfect for that. So, so it looks really great. It runs really smoothly. Not only can you play as this little pumpkin guy, there's also a bunch of other characters that you can unlock that are kind of hidden throughout the levels. And just the game itself, too, it's not incredibly long. Like, you can beat the game probably in, like, under 2 hours, actually.
So kind of old school in that respect, except for, getting these other characters. There's quite a few, maybe like 8 or something like that. They could kind of give you a reason to want to keep coming back. And if you find yourself like not really good at games, they do have a couple of options for you in the options menu. Like you can turn on 99 lives. You can turn on I forgot the terminology, but basically kind of like it's an option that makes it so you could continue closer to where you died, whereas opposed to like the start of the level or something.
More checkpoints, I guess.
Yeah, basically. And then on the other hand, if you like punishing yourself with this type of stuff, they have like I think a 1 HP mode. So if you just take 1 hit, you're dead. So like there's a little bit of something for everybody here. Even if you find yourself getting really good with this game.
Everyone's looking at Ty with that mode.
Right. So like, yeah, I mean, one thing that I really liked about the game, I like the bosses. I'm trying to see I don't remember if I have any screens. Yeah, if you're watching the video version right now, you can see like this demon looking guy that's shooting out flames and stuff like that. The bosses are usually relatively big, like compared to the main character. And it's all about like pattern recognition and stuff. You have to remember how these guys are going to attack and basically find the best course of action to take them out and stuff. So, very old school in that respect.
Nice.
Yeah, and with the new character, with the different characters and stuff like that too, because Pumpkin Man spits out like candy corn, and it's a pretty small projectiles. But there's another guy. Well, there's like a Santa themed guy. He spits out like Christmas presents. There's this other guy. Oh my god, I forgot what he's called, but he shoots out kind of like explosives. So like it's just like Pumpkin Man's thing, but they explode on impact. So like
a bomber man, or something like that.
Basically, but 2D and good. Shots fired.
Do they have an annual gift man as a Japanese skin?
I think he's an unlockable character. So.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, so be on the lookout for that. But yeah, I mean, it kind of sucks that this game, like, I get it. When it comes to like release stuff, I mean, the stars just in the line, and the guys at Too High Labs just couldn't get this thing out in October. I don't even think I don't think they technically existed at that time. So that would have been quite a feat. But yeah, so I mean, it released on the same day as Super Mario 3D World, which is like, oh man, this thing's just gonna get like freaking buried. But I hope it's doing well for them, because it's a really fun game, and I don't know if you guys are looking for something, relatively quick and kind of forgiving depending on how you have the options set. I think this is a pretty good game for that. So,
Halloween games, we need more of them.
Yes.
Add it on your wish list and then buy it in October or whenever it comes on sale.
Yeah. So I think right now, how much is it? Maybe like $10 or something. So it's not like super expensive, but it's not like super cheap. So it's possible that it could be a sale or something like that.
Pro tip: any game you add to your wish list, Nintendo will automatically email you when the game is on sale.
Mm-hmm.
So you should do that. Or any game that you're kind of interested in.
Yeah, or like what I get for the My Nintendo Japan. So all my stuff's linked to like my Japanese account. So I'll get notifications right to my phone, even like right to my Apple Watch even. Like it says like, this game's on sale. I'm like, why are you bothering me in the middle of my day?
Available now.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, outside of, septic tank subsidies and stuff, like this is about the only thing I've been really kind of jamming on. So yeah, that's going to really do it for me for new business. So let's go ahead and move on to Ty.
Hey, what's good? So before the show, James had scribbled on the itinerary that we're going to talk about Dead by Daylight, just as a guess. Wasn't my plan, but I'm going to now out of spite.
I just wrote Dead by Daylight achievement hunting or something like that.
Pretty close. Yeah, but the new character is coming out this month. It's like a J-pop guy. No, a K-pop. He's Korean as hell, and he throws knives. That's the new character, the new killer. Check it out. You can play him on the test build right now, and he comes out for real on like the 23rd, maybe.
Okay.
So that's fun. Yeah. And,
Sorry, I noticed a funny comment here from James Allen. Ty's been tidying up. There's actually a cupboard door behind him.
Yeah, that's right. I've gotten rid of a lot of boxes.
Yeah, actually, you have tidied up a little bit back there, haven't you?
Yep. A bit. Making progress.
Takes time.
Yeah. But it's hard. I get so many boxes.
Yeah, dude.
For some reason.
Right.
Like, I have all these boxes right here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We're going to get into those.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Nice.
But another game I've been playing is Civilization 6.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe I mentioned it briefly last time, but
yeah.
I'm now a few games into it.
Mm-hmm.
Takes like 15 fucking hours to play a standard game.
Jeez. I was going to say, you said you had a quick match and it was 9 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's hard to fully grasp the valuation of so many of the things in the game when it takes so long. And you get to the end game and you realize one thing has screwed you over.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't know the ins and outs, the subtleties, and basically the valuation.
Yeah.
I have so many questions on my mind, relatively, how important is science? How important is religion? How important is the purple gauge? Is it this a core thing that you need to not die, or is it just like a long shot scheme for winning? So I'm gradually getting a grip of how important things are compared to each other.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's complicated. It's a lot of interwoven systems in there. pretty nuts for a fucking board game.
Right. Jeez. Man.
Yeah. And it's always funny.
Mm-hmm.
so it's like, that dude has airplanes?
I have horses.
I'm never gonna hear the end of this from my feudal serfs.
Nice.
Damn it! I shouldn't have gone all in on religion.
Yeah, that's literally what I did in the last game.
Should have gone for technology and science.
I did get the Spanish Inquisition achievement though.
No.
There's some pretty good achievements. There's a really tough one called Pizza Party. It's where you have to have you have to have the great works from Donatello and Michelangelo, and then you have to bring Leonardo da Vinci to New York, and you have to have a sewer. and then you have to activate him, and then you get the Pizza Party achievement.
Nice.
Pretty good. Yeah, there's also sorts of funny little things like that. It's pretty good.
Don't forget your nunchucks, bow, and katana.
Yeah. So the game was only $20. There's a lot of DLC to get. I may or may not do that. We'll see. But I'm enjoying it so far. Also, it crashes constantly.
Oh boy. Nice. You're playing on PC or Xbox?
I'm actually playing on Xbox.
Okay.
Yeah, it's actually good because it gets me to stop.
Okay.
Crashed. Well, never mind. There goes 12 hours of progress.
No, it auto saves every turn, so it doesn't fucking matter.
Okay.
Oh, okay. There you go.
At most it costs you 2 minutes. It's negligible.
Okay,
that's
nice.
Good.
But obviously learned over the years, right? That game needs that.
Yep, constant auto saves. I bought some other random games on sale. I haven't gotten around to playing them yet, but I'll tell you about them I'll tell you about them later.
Okay.
Next episode.
Coming soon.
Yes, coming soon. Some beat 'em up game and and some music game and yeah, whatever. I got the Avicii game. That's what it was.
Oh,
it was
yeah.
It was $5. It doesn't look that good, but it has the songs I like, so I got it.
Okay.
I'll let you know if it's actually good or not.
Yeah.
Later.
That's what I heard. If you absolutely hate Avicii, it won't convert you, but it's a decent music game, and even better if you like Avicii.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, me too. I like him. May he rest in peace.
Yep, he did.
Yep.
God.
Don't do drugs, kids,
Right.
unless you want to, as Danny would say.
Yes.
Do drugs.
Do drugs. Yes.
Right.
All right, that'll do it for me.
Okay.
Hit me up for some Dead by Daylight if you want some help clearing those tomes.
All right. Cool. All right. Excuse me. God. All right, James. Sorry.
Oh yeah, it's allergy season in Japan, and it sucks.
Yeah. I don't really get them, but like my eyes are itchy as shit.
Yeah, me too.
We were just talking about that right before we started. Yeah, man. Like I've been taking some like heavier meds than what I took like last year. It for the most part I'm okay. Sometimes it hits me hard, and yeah, like you guys, my eyes are just driving me crazy. But
if you just tuned in, you're listening to Pollen Watch.
Yes. James.
Yes, that's me.
What you been playing?
Just a couple of throwaway games, to be honest. Well, we talked about this game on one of the shows, Balan Wonderland.
Yes.
Because it got a lot of like attention because it's like a Square Enix game. It's got like this incredible soundtrack by all these famous Japanese composers. And it's like done by the guy who did the character designer from Knights.
Yuji Naka.
Like Yuji Naka, yeah, and like someone else from it's like all these Japanese kind of celeb designers / composers making this game. So I thought I'd try it out at least. The problem is, anyone apart from Nintendo making a 3D platform type game, it's like yellow flag right there. It's hard. It's for some reason only Nintendo can do it well, and Nintendo and maybe a couple of other people can do it well, and not these guys. Yeah. It's like it's weird. It kind of, I got vibes of like Banjo-Kazooie because like it's so colorful and there's like lots of things to collect. But like I was only playing the demo, by the way. I didn't buy the game. The demo. I think the demo you get like 2 like full worlds or something like that. 2 levels.
That sounds right. Yeah, the game doesn't come out until like the 26th. So
I see.
Or something like that.
Yeah, there's like all these collectibles. Nothing was explained. It's like buy the collect 10 of these, and then it was at the beginning of Banjo Kazooie 3 or Nuts and Bolts, right? Ty probably knows this more than anyone, but like they kind of like jokingly start off the game as like, and they put like 1 million like fucking musical notes, and then you start to collect them, and then it's they say like that's a joke, we're not, this game is not that. Well, Balan Wonderland kind of is that. It's like non-ironically. It's like collect all the things for no reason whatsoever.
Right.
The music is nice though, and the cutscene, the intro cutscenes are beautifully animated. It's like it's like Final Fantasy
7
state of the art stuff. But it's all the kind of stuff that I don't like. It's like flashy cutscene and then shitty gameplay. It's just like well, this is the PlayStation. This was this is the stuff that why I didn't really get attracted to the PlayStation. It's like all of those things in one game.
Like I had a question about this when it comes to like controls, because I downloaded the demo like the first day it was available, and then I watched one of my favorite YouTubers talk about it, RGT85. If you guys don't check him out, but like he was saying that any of the face buttons initiates a jump. Is that seem like the case?
So they have these kind of like powers, which if it was like Odyssey, it's kind of like you can kind of relate it to Odyssey, where Mario Odyssey, you take over an enemy's power, and then you get that ability, and then Mario suddenly either he can't jump, or he can jump higher, or he can do something that he couldn't do before, right? It's like that, but like with this one, you just kind of collect this thing, you get a key, and then you get this like costume change. And then some of them literally it's like you can't jump, so it's like, okay, well, how am I supposed to go over this gap? Well, they've just handily put a little bridge and a little slope for you to go if you have that power. But then immediately there'll be something that you need to slam on the ground, and it's like, well, you need to change your power to something that slams on the ground. So this power is useless. It's like like specific puzzles for specific things. There's no like, you know, freedom. Like with Mario Odyssey, like you take over a power of something, you can pretty much like complete the level as that. You know, you can do whatever you want. It's like it restricts, you know, your freedom. But this one, it felt like everything was just like kind of rote. It's just like kind of planned out. It's like from point A to point B, you should be this suit. From point B to point Z, you should be this power, you know. And then you collect the thing at the end and you go to the next bit. It's like, yeah. It just felt very formulaic, I guess. Yeah. Formulaic would be the key word for this game.
I was going to say, like,
generic.
Dude, yeah, like just looking at it, you know, you kind of touched on this at the beginning of this segment, but yeah, it seems like a lot of companies, when it comes to making, you know, Haitani points out here too, good old Yuji Naka, Naoto Oshima.
I guess he's the composer, maybe.
Right. But, you know, when it comes to like 3D platformers and stuff, it is tough, or it is rare to see companies like make them well. Outside of companies like Rare and Nintendo. And it just seems like a lot of companies just miss the mark for whatever reason. You know, Nintendo does a good job at finding a balance between something that's not like too hard, at least for the starting off, but something that's still, you know, it can be challenging, and it gets challenging the further you play. But it just seems like this is almost like baby mode, or it's just like kind of drawing on things that other games that might have touched on, but yeah,
it's going for the visuals. You know, it's like, you know, if you don't like these visuals, I mean, it's pretty much a non-starter, really. I mean, I don't know. This guy that we're looking at now, he kind of like, I don't know what he reminds me of. It's kind of like a cheap copy of Cappy from Mario Odyssey or something. I don't know. Mixed with Persona for some reason. I don't know. I don't know what the hell it reminds me of. Looks like the Persona 5 logo. You know, if anyone knows what I'm talking about.
Never heard of it.
Yep. Here's my hot take. Only British and Japanese people are good at making platformers. Boom! In your face, America.
Haitani is dropping more knowledge on us here. Naoto Oshima is the designer of Sonic and Knights. It's actually the first time these two are working together again since Sonic Adventure. I liked Sonic Adventure.
Sonic and Knights, 2 games where Sega tried to beat Mario at and failed spectacularly.
Well, you can.
Do you remember when the Knights was going against Mario 64?
Well,
like,
you could probably blame that. I think you could blame that on the hardware. I mean, Knights, the Saturn was out the door. The Dreamcast never really got a good footing anywhere. So it's like, yeah. But you know, I'm not going to sit here and defend Sonic Adventure. It definitely has its share of problems, but it can be a fun game.
God bless Sega fans. Yeah. They had to defend that shit against Mario 64. It's fucking good luck with that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that.
I hate Knights so fucking much.
Where's Cyrus when you need him, man? I'll tell you.
Who?
Right. Yes.
Right. Cyrus actually looks like a Knights character, to be honest.
Yes. Yeah.
True story.
365 days worth of bandanas.
That's right. The other actual game I played, we got a code from our friends Ratalaika Games. Good guys. They send us literally every game that they've ever published. This one was called Delta Squad, and I played this one because it reminded me of Cannon Fodder, which is a game I really liked. I know maybe you Americans don't know Cannon Fodder, do you?
No.
Wait, did that have a different name in America? Was that General Chaos, or is that a different game?
Cannon Fodder. I don't know if it had a different name, but it started off on like Amiga, you know, those kind of like British, you know, computers or computer system game computers, you know. But they did, I think they did a SNES version. And if there's any chance that it got to America, it would be the SNES version.
Yeah.
But it's famous for having a really good theme song, which you should all look up after this show if you've never heard of it. War never been so much fun. Anyway, this game that I played called Delta Squad kind of reminded me of that. It's like a 4-player version of Cannon Fodder. Cannon Fodder was a single-player game back in the day, but this one is like it's 4-player local. You're controlling little soldier guys. You can like a regular soldier, a heavy, a medic, a mechanic, and they've all got different weapons and stuff, and you can play all together in the same screen. And Yeah, it's pretty fun actually. I mean, the graphics are kind of cute. It's like, top-down perspective. Well, tilted a little bit down. Yeah, it's just like a more modern version of Cannon Fodder. I think maybe it has slightly less character than Cannon Fodder, but it's a little bit, the graphics are a little bit, generic-y, but it's still fun. It was quite hard actually. I died like quite quickly, and then I checked the difficulty setting, and it was on easy. I was like, what the fuck? There's like these cannons like heavy cannons. It was like literally like 2 hits and I was dead. I was like, okay, shit.
Wow.
And like the fire rate was quite slow. Like the guy that I chose, it was quite slow, and the cannons took like literally about 30 hits to get to die. So I'm just to the and it's like not dying at all, and that guy, and then the cannon fires back at me, dead. So it's like it was maybe a little bit unbalanced there, but anyway, I got it in the end. It's fun. I think it'd be more fun with more people playing. Shame it doesn't have online co-op. Yeah, it's kind of like really needs that co-op. I mean, four of you guys playing at the same time, you could easily, you could distract fire from the cannons and shoot it from the other side, right? But when it's just you and the fire's all aimed at you, everything's firing at just you, it gets a little bit harder. So yeah, maybe it is designed for co-op. They're kind of expecting at least 2 people to play. Yeah, that'll do it for now.
Okay,
I think. Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, there's a bit of a breezy set of new business there, but like I said, we do have some other things that we want to get into in the show. But before we get to that, let's go ahead and move on to some Now Playing at thefamicast.com. Now Playing at thefamicast.com. We got lots of stuff going up on some stuff going up on the website. Usually it's whatever. Lots of stuff going up on YouTube, and yeah, you guys should definitely check it out. And I'll go ahead and kind of kick things off here. So yeah, I've been putting together a couple of different previews based on some of the games that were shown off at the Nintendo Direct in February, and I just put one up for Pro Yaku Spirits 2021. Switch realistic Japanese licensed baseball game. If you're into that sort of thing, you should definitely check it out. I kind of break down everything from the trailer, all the confirmed modes, kind of thoughts about like how the game's going to look and kind of run on the Switch, stuff like that. You should check it out. I'm working on another preview for a Crayon Shin-chan game of all things. I kind of mentioned it. Yeah. I mean, you guys have seen like the screenshots. Didn't we take a look at some of those? Yeah.
That game looks sick, bro.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah.
If it wasn't for, septic tank subsidies and finding out if those who are on public assistance or Japanese war displaced orphans remaining in China can be vaccinated free of charge, stuff like that, I would have probably made that preview, but I have not. So
life finds a way, Danny. Life finds a way.
It does. So we'll see. But JC,
yes.
What are we next, man?
Just got a couple of videos that I just talked about. Balan Wonderland and Delta Squad. There's gameplay videos of those, so you can see if I was telling the truth or not about how hard the game was, or if I'm a total scrub. Check it out. And as for sorry.
Sorry, I was just going to say one thing. Like maybe something that we're going to start doing from now on too. Maybe if we have time, but possibly games that we're going to talk about, like for new business. Be on the lookout on the YouTube for like direct feed video or something like that, so you guys can take a look at that before the show, and then maybe by the time the show hits, we can have something about that if possible. It might not always happen, but
anyway, it's 100% going to happen every single time, guaranteed.
That's right.
Danny Burns, the Famicast. The also thing, just for the patrons, hello patrons. We actually have a new patron exclusive podcast this month. Well, we have one every month. Well, we have something. We either have an event or a podcast. And this month, the month of March, is Famicast Sound Test, episode 7. And this is actually our 64th patron exclusive podcast.
Wow.
64. So, in case you didn't know, Famicast Sound Test is a game music podcast. It's hosted by me. It's only me. I just kind of like play the role of a DJ. I just choose some good tunes and play them and talk a little bit about them. Not very much. Not much talking from me. Mostly it's just about the music. And because it's the 64th episode, it's all about anime.
Yeah, there it is.
No, no, it's all about Nintendo 64, of course. So we're getting some nice suggestions from our lovely patrons and Ty as well. So yeah, if any patrons haven't seen the thread on our Patreon page, check it out and give me some suggestions, and they might make it into the show going live later this month. Ty, over to you.
Hell yeah. And at the end of last month, we finished up AC/DC number 7.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, Armchair Designers Club. It's good. We talk about matchmaking and ranking systems, and
you're welcome.
Yeah, you had a nice comment about that. I guess we'll get to that later. But even if you don't play online, you should definitely listen.
Nice,
cool.
And Ty, one other thing, right? You wanted to.
Oh, yeah. Our very fancy Discord now has a public channel. You don't have to give us money to get into it, but you do have to give us money to get into the nice channel.
Right.
The clean one.
Yes.
Right.
The dirty one, depending how you look at it.
Right. For the unwashed masses. The anime landfill. That's where I live.
We also do have a new patron. This is friend of the show, John Cario, aka Bridger. He actually jumped aboard to the Fami Friend tier, which is $1 a month. And for $1 a month, obviously you're supporting us, which is always helpful and cool. And with that tier, you guys get early access to videos and access to the patron exclusive Discord. So check that out. And thank you guys, all of you guys out there that have been supporting us on Patreon. We really appreciate it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Polls as well. You can get involved in the polls. Although if you get involved in the sound test one, you'll be able to like nominate songs, but then you won't actually be able to listen to this episode because that's the $3 tier. Please understand.
Please understand. Exactly. All of this and more. That's Famicast.
.jp.
There it is.
No, that was too expensive.
Yeah,
we went for .com.
Hey, it is significant.
.ru.
That's no. Well, hey, look into that one next. Coming up next, just a little dose of this, and James, I think you know what time it is.
Damn, the JAPANews.
That's right, folks. It's time for the JAPANews. This is the time of the show where we talk about all the latest and greatest comings and goings of Nintendo and Japan and all that type of stuff. So let's just go ahead and jump right into it. And actually, JC, could you take that first bit?
I was just thinking, 10 years ago, we didn't really have a... Did we have a news section? I can't remember. Did we always have news? Or maybe we just mentioned it from time to time, or I don't know.
Well, actually, I was just listening to the first episode last night.
Oh, right.
I don't know. Wow, because I was prepping music for this episode. Actually, just a note for the audio listeners. If you guys, you might recognize some tunes. I'm kind of pulling some tunes from like past episodes if I have audio available. So
nice.
You might hear some classics, quote unquote classics, that you might have heard before in the past. But yeah, man, I don't know if we didn't do a whole lot of news if we did, because we did a show like once in a while at first.
I think we used to do like features, right? Like a feature, some event or something, right? Yeah. Anyway, we'll do navel gazing in the navel gazing section.
Right.
Right then, first bit of news we have is the recently revealed Smash Ultimate DLC characters. That is Pyra and Mithra are now available for purchase. Or if you bought the Fight Pass number 2, Season 2, you've already got it. Did anyone pick these up / care about these? I did not.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't believe anyone did. Right? Ty, you didn't go this Fighter Pass route, did you? Did you get Steve?
I haven't even turned my Switch on since before Min Min came out.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay.
That would be a no then.
Right.
Yes, Homura and Hikari is the Japanese names. yeah, and also in the direct. No, not the direct. The what do you call it? The Smash, whatever reveal the character in-depth thing that Sakurai did.
Sure.
He always does. He goes through like all the moves and all the the specials, the stages, and he goes like full history about everything about the game. Because he knows literally everything about every video game.
Or he's just really good at reading off of cue cards.
That too. He also revealed the new Mii costumes. We can now find out who is not going to be the DLC character. So the first one is Arthur from Ghosts and Goblins. He's now a Mii character. Rip in peace. And we got some Monster Hunter ones. We got various types of armor. So I guess I think Monster Hunter Man was actually one of my predictions for one of the DLC characters. So I guess that's also a rip in peace, because it fits the three categories which Sakurai requires, which it has to be white, has to be designed by a Japanese person, right, and it has to have a sword, and it has to be a man as well. So Monster Hunter kind of fit all those categories. So I really thought that was a shoo-in, but there you go. But I think I think Sora, the Kingdom Hearts boy. He fits all those four categories, and he there's no Mii costume or anything with him. So I think he's probably going to win the last two.
Definitely in the realm of possibility for sure.
It's like, how many Japanese series are there left that haven't been done? Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, Resident Evil, I guess. Resident Evil.
Yeah, okay, that must have been a fever dream. I was like, wait, isn't like Chris and Jill of it? No, that never happened.
Oh, I think they're spirits.
Oh, they're spirits. Okay. That's what it is. Maybe.
So I don't know what the rules are behind that. If they're a spirit, it's okay.
They're breaking they're breaking their own rules with this stuff, man.
now that you mention it, I remember Capcom actually said somewhere they were looking for partners for some Resident Evil anniversary shenanigans. So we may see some more Resident Evil crossovers in the future.
Interesting.
Yeah, interesting.
Did Revelations 3 get announced, or did I imagine that?
No, I'm thinking, it just...
was it part of the leak? Do you remember the Capcom leak?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Not the Giga leak, the Capcom's Giga leak.
Relatively recent thing. Then, like, wasn't the new Ghouls and Ghosts or Ghosts and Goblins, whatever the hell it is, that was kind of like from there, and then it's obviously real.
Right.
And maybe it was, man. Maybe it was. I vaguely remember that too.
I think it was Resident Evil 4 remake and Resident Evil Revelations 3. I think they were on the leak. I could be wrong about that, but that's what I heard.
All right.
Okay, Danny, you're up next.
Yeah. So there was a like a Pokemon Direct that happened last week, I think it was, and obviously we're not like the hugest Pokemon fans here or anything, but I think that it is still it's still relevant to talk about. So Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl are headed to the Switch in late 2021. Now these games are remakes of the original Diamond and Pearl, which came out on the DS back in 2006. The games, they look kind of like spiritual successors to like the original games. There's like kind of like a similar art style, kind of like a chibi style, kind of like the old school Pokemon stuff.
Looks like a ultra high res DS game, but but all in 3D, no sprites.
Yeah, but it's kind of weird because like when they're in battles, they kind of looks like they're using like assets from like the other Pokemon games that they had on the system already, which is like, okay, it's smart to like reuse assets and stuff, I guess, but it's kind of bizarre. But yeah, what else here? Yes, some people are kind of like giving this game some shit and like kind of making comparisons to Link's Awakening. Which is same type of a deal. It was a a top-down type of game, but kind of reimagined in like a brand new style. And I kind of agree to what people are saying and stuff like that too. Because I mean, I think the game looks fine. It doesn't look like it's bad. And right now, if you're looking at the video version, this is kind of like a battle sequence from the game. Looks they're not chibi-fied. It's very much like realistic proportions and stuff.
Yeah. The battle mode looks like the previous Pokemon game, right? It's just in the town they look chibified. In the battles, it goes to Pokemon Sword and Shield kind of look, right? Yeah,
but like looking at the game, I mean, it does seem kind of like very plain Jane. when like looking at the walking around areas and stuff like that. It seems to me like they probably could have done something more, but I don't know. I mean, with Pokemon games, I could make excuses like, well, it's complicated, all these different systems, blah 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 blah. But it's like, man, I don't know. I kind of was hoping for a little bit more. But then again, this game is not aimed at me, and I don't think Pokemon fans are bitching about this right now, they're still going to buy it. So it's,
it doesn't have the charm of the Link's Awakening remake, right? The kind of nice glossiness and the what do you call it, the depth of field stuff. It's just like pretty much a standard looking 3D game.
Yeah.
But they need to crap these games out, don't they? Because they go new Pokemon game and then remake, new Pokemon game remake. That's usually the pattern, isn't it?
Yeah, for like the past 6 years or something, 7 years maybe, something like that. It seems like they always try to have something. And they have,
all these things are predicted as well, by the way. Like I think I read the full list of the games that were announced, like maybe 48 hours before the direct.
Okay.
Like, and it looked fake at the time, but then they're all exactly right. It's like, oh shit, that guy was 100% right.
Yeah.
What else was announced, Danny, at the Pokemon Direct?
Yeah, actually, Ty, would you mind taking that next one there?
Yeah. Pokemon Legends, Arceus, a new open world Pokemon game, an open world Pokemon game.
What?
Yes.
Is currently in development and will release on the Switch in early 2022. Maybe.
Yeah.
Early footage of the game has drawn wrong comparisons from Breath of the Wild. Wow, there's some editorializing in the show notes.
I don't know who would have put that there.
That might be a special guest who added that, not me.
Yeah. So from the trailer, trainers will be roaming through more wide open areas and having to rely on stealth to sneak up and catch Pokemon. Is this our long sought after Pokemon MMO?
Well, I mean, just looking at, from watching the trailer and, kind of checking things out too. I mean, it does seem kind of cool. Like, it like in the screen that's available, what you're looking at right now in the video version, you could see the trainer kind of like standing in some tall grass and you see some Pokemon relatively close, and they're kind of like sneaking up, just ready to throw a Pokeball at them. I mean, this is the kind of stuff I dreamed about, like, in 2000.
Right.
And here we are in 2021, and it's not here yet, but it's happening. But yeah, I mean, like I said, some people will be like, it's Breath of the Wild Pokemon. It's like, well, I don't know if it's exactly that. I mean, it's just open world. It seems like more open world than anything they've done to this point. But then again, I mean, it was just a trailer, and this game's coming out in 2022, supposedly.
So why are always people getting so excited about a Pokemon MMO? What is the MMO part that makes it exciting? Like teaming up with friends and going out on adventures together, I guess, or
just interacting with other people.
Yeah,
just like bumping into some folk on the way around. But like all of the games that had online, like the last game, Sword and Shield, that had some kind of online wild area, and apparently like the frame rate is like runs like shit. And like everything runs like shit when you involve online and lots of people. I don't think it would work, to be honest, on the Switch at least.
Yeah. Well, this wasn't in the agenda, but maybe we talked about this last time. But what, Nintendo's like updating their online infrastructure, changing from something that's like running like Windows 95 or whatever the heck it was. I mean, that's kind of an exaggeration, but like, what? Anyway, yeah. I mean, I think this game looks cool. How is it going to shape up? I don't know. Like, kind of looking at it like from a visual standpoint too, like, compare, and then you can't help but like draw, make comparisons to something like Breath of the Wild, at least visually, because it is kind of going for something kind of like that. And but I don't know. I mean, I was just like looking at the grass, like through the trailer and stuff like that, and looking at the screenshots. I'm like, man, that looks like garbage compared to like Breath of the Wild. I mean, that's kind of like unfair to do, compare it to a masterpiece like Breath of the Wild. But this, you can't control what your brain does with that type of stuff. But yeah, Haitani has a comment here too. I'd expect as soon as people realize that they cannot climb every mountain, like in Breath of the Wild, that hype will shift dramatically. Either way, I dig the setting. And yeah, I mean, the setting is like, it's very much like a, pardon me if I'm wrong, but doesn't it seem kind of like a Japanese type of a setting in that sense?
Oh yeah, good point. Because the last one was in the UK, wasn't it? This is definitely not the UK.
Yeah, definitely not.
There's no litter on the ground and dead chavs in the gutter.
Yeah. Cool. Well, that's gonna do it for Pokemon Arceus. Oh my god, I forgot.
Just say Arceus.
I forgot. I looked at the katakana. I totally
Arceus, isn't it? Arceus or Arceus? But like I said, when I saw the leaked list and I saw the remakes were going to be called Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, I thought it was fake because I just couldn't wrap my head around Japanese people pronouncing brilliant. like writing that in katakana, it's like buririanto. It's like, it's very unnatural and not something that you would really write in katakana. Like there are lots of English words that are used in Japanese and like, you know, to express something like that, but brilliant would not be one of them. I don't know any Japanese people that know the word brilliant. You know, if it was like amazing or like unbelievable, you know, that sure they know those words. You know,
I mean, there's a show with Pete Takeshi. It's called Unbelievable. Excuse me, Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Wow, it's actually a fun show. But
or even fantastic. You know, they know fantastic, amazing, unbelievable, but brilliant. Nope. So when I saw it, and it is literally called that in Japanese, by the way.
Yeah.
They have literally written the word buririanto in katakana. I was like,
James,
what?
I think you're living in a fantasy.
A whole new world.
Yes. Yeah. To be fair, I mean, English speakers and stuff like that, we screw up Japanese all the time, so they can point and laugh at us on their podcasts.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, there it is.
Like when Iwata was president, like every American podcaster calling Mr. Iwata,
Toyota.
Mr. Iwata. He's a great president of Nintendo, Mr. Iwata.
Seriously, anytime that I'm like, let's say I'm watching American football and they have commercials on or something, they're talking about, you know, Toyota, the car company, Toyota, drive for fun, or whatever their catchphrase is. And my wife's like, it's not fucking Toyota, it's Toyota. And I'm like, I know, but that's just the way. It's just
it's one of those fun things where, you know, thing that you Americans do is like, you know, change T's into D's. Japanese is the one language you can't do that because a ta and a da are completely different.
Hey, to be fair, it's the, you know, Toyota American marketing companies that think of that. You know, they're just kind of playing around with it. They're not even, you know, batting an eye. They're just kind of going with the flow. Anyway,
Miyamoto. Oh yeah, Miyamoto.
Oh god.
You'll hear some fun ones.
Miyamoto.
Yeah, Haitani has another good ones too. Iwata, Miyamoto.
Here's the one that gets the fighting game guys. Like who's the main character in Street Fighter?
Oh, Ryu.
Ryu.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a little bit of history to that. Though. That's not as cut and dry, is it? You know,
excuses.
I mean, when you come to Japan and you learn that it's actually Ryu. You know,
what is it?
Yeah,
Ryu. No one would call it Ryu if you said, you know, my favorite character in Street Fighter is Ryu. They probably wouldn't know what the fuck you're talking about outside of explaining.
Right? Yeah. I prefer E Honda myself.
Yay, there it is. There it is.
E Honda.
I might or might not have said that from time to time. But
well, I'm not talking of like Capcom games. I mean, do you think we could get someone on the show who maybe knows a little bit about Capcom?
I think maybe we could do something better. Maybe somebody that helped form the Famicast, Mr. Matt Walker himself. What's up, Matt?
All right, hey guys.
Here comes
a new challenger.
Yeah, there it is. Right.
Yes.
Happy March 10th. This is why we're having a podcast today, right? Because it's March 10th. It's Mario Day.
Yes, exactly.
Happy
Mario Day. Holy shit.
Happy Mario Day. I think we should celebrate by making sure that everybody knows that by the end of the month, no one will be able to play Mario 35 anymore.
Good call. So, Matt, was it you who, in the agenda, you wrote people out wrongly comparing the Pokemon game to Breath of the Wild? That was you.
I didn't write that.
No, that was me. That was me. I said it wasn't me, but it was me. I could do that with kind of like a wink and a nod, but I didn't make a nod.
Well, Matt, what do you think about the what's it called, the Arceus? Pokemon Legends Arceus, yeah, that one.
I think it looks really cool. I think it's really cool. I mean, yeah, I think at this point on the internet, everybody's kind of like made the joke that like basically if there's anything that has like grassy fields in it now, everybody goes, oh yeah, they're copying Breath of the Wild, right? Like doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah.
I think
Grass
it just
has
goes
been
to show,
patented by Nintendo.
you know, and I think it just goes to show how influential Breath of the Wild's been. You know, not necessarily that people are copying it, but that, you know, when somebody sees a grassy field now, the first thing they think is Breath of the Wild.
Yeah,
right. Genshin Impact. You know, well that is pretty much a copy of Breath of the Wild, though. To be fair.
Yeah.
That one. Have you guys played much of that one?
No. I mean, the only way that I'd be able to play at the moment is on my phone, but no way I would do that.
Okay, I played it a bit, and the production values are really impressive for a mobile game. And yeah, like it's got action, kind of like the way that Zelda, you know, that Breath of the Wild has action to an extent. And obviously the big thing is that it's got the climbing. It just copies the fact that it's got climbing, and it's got a stamina meter for that. But the gameplay loop definitely feels different. And it is a lot more like of an RPG in the sense that, you know, you go and you talk to people and you watch cutscenes and that kind of stuff. So yeah, I mean, it still is its own thing. It's just, yeah, obviously because it's kind of a cartoony game that has all these grassy fields, and everybody says, oh yeah, it copies Breath of the Wild.
There it is.
Right then. So next up we have our mandated Capcom game talk. Matt said the only way to come on the show is if we talked at least about 3 Capcom games. And so here we are, Monster Hunter Stories 2, Wings of Ruin. Hametsu no Tsubasa has a release date of July 9th this year for Switch and Steam. Oh, I didn't know that. 3 amiibo. Good luck getting your amiibo to work on your PC. Are also being made to coincide with the launch of the game. You poor bastards in the US. I didn't write that, by the way.
I don't know who wrote that.
I didn't write that. The poor bastards in the US can only get them at GameStop, or in Canada, that's EB Games. And if you have save data for Monster Hunter Rise, you can also receive some free armor for the game. For a recap, Stories puts players in the world of Monster Hunter riders as they hatch, raise, and live alongside their monsters. The original story is released in October 2016 in Japan, September 2017. Holy shit, elsewhere. Wow, a year between the Japan and US launches.
Yeah,
but not this time, I guess. Is it July everywhere, Matt? I guess. Matt, do you know that?
I'm sorry. Honestly, I have no idea. I have no idea.
I can confirm.
I don't even talk to those Monster Hunter guys, man.
I can confirm. Yes, it is.
There you go. Have any of you guys played? Any of you guys played the original Monster Hunter Stories?
Yeah. I picked it up when it came out, and I got it's on the other side of my room. But like maybe it was at TGS, but like there's the cat thing, and I got some little balloon that you can like put on your arm. It was really weird. I don't know why that was a thing, but
that was a TGS thing, right?
Yeah, a TGS thing. But no, I bought the game like when it came out, and I played it for I don't know, at least like 5 to 10 hours or something, and then moved on to something else. But it's cool. Like it's definitely quite different from Monster Hunter. Like, you know, like James was saying with the, you know, this game. I mean, you're taking on the role of a monster rider. You're not like hunting these guys and killing them. You're like finding them, befriending them, and then you know, raising them and stuff. So it's really quite different. And you know, the visual style is pretty different too. There was, unless this is some kind of fever dream, there was like an anime that was out.
Yep, you're right. There was. There was. I have no idea. It might still be going. I actually have no idea.
Yeah, I don't remember if it. I mean, I don't think it did very well. It just seemed like it's tough when you're trying to do some kind of thing like that. You know, what is it? Transmedia property? Is that the term?
Yeah, no, that sounds right to me.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. I could just be talking out of my ass, but like, yeah, man, that's hard to do. Try to make something cool for like kids and stuff like that. You know, Yokai Watch, they did that. First they made the game, and then the anime took off, and now it's in the shitter because Pokemon just kind of took off again. But
Yokai Watch is still a thing.
Yeah, but it is, but it isn't, is it?
It's still a thing. Trust me, I have relatives that still play that game and still collect the medals.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
So Danny, we should give Matt a chance to talk about his new biz, right?
Yeah.
I'm really interested.
What have you been playing for like the last 6 years?
Oh man, for the last 6 years, lots of Breath of the Wild, actually.
Yeah.
What's your hour count now, Matt? It must be over 300 by now, right?
Oh my god! So actually, this is one of my complaints. So yeah, I mean, obviously, I have my main account that I play like all my games on my Switch, but then I play Breath of the Wild so much that I'll play on different save files, and so I'll create like new users.
Okay. Create profiles.
Files for what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And of course, the problem there is that unless I link a Nintendo account to it, then I can't see how many hours I've played.
Oh.
It just doesn't come up. And one time for one of the files, I was like, okay, I literally created like a separate Nintendo account just so I could see how many hours it was. And I've played I've played probably 300 or 400 hours on my main account, and then I had played, I think, a couple hundred hours on this other account. And I have a couple other save files too. So yeah, I don't know. Cause I love to practice like the speedrun strategies in that game.
Oh boy.
All of the bugs like that you can utilize are really fun. Really fun.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I mean, I've never actually done like a proper speedrun, but I'll like a lot of nights I'll try to like just do like the, what do you call it, the initial area, the first area there.
Great Plateau.
Yeah, the plateau. Yeah, the Great Plateau. Yep.
Matt, this sounds like a joke question, but it's not. But have you got all the Korok seeds?
No, that I did not do.
I knew you wouldn't bother with that. You're not interested in that, right? Waste of time.
I mean, usually I'm a completionist. Yeah. And one of my first goals with the game was get all of the shrines. But yeah, I've never thought, I'm gonna get all 900, plus Korok seeds.
600 hours doesn't have all the Korok seeds.
Yeah. No, I really don't. Yeah. But yeah, I do love to play that game. Even now, I like to go back to it pretty often. And then I think one of the other things I wrote was so recently I had been listening to one of the Retronauts podcasts where they were talking about Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that was the week that they announced that Bethesda was also going to work on an Indiana Jones game. So like those two things combined, I was like, I really want to play that now. And I played it, and oh my god, it was so much fun. Have any of you guys played that before?
No, yes. When I saw that in the agenda, I was thinking, oh my god, that's that N64 one. But no, that's like the Infernal Machine or something. But yeah,
right, the Infernal Machine. Yeah, I think
it's like a long lost Indiana Jones movie. You can't believe that this wasn't a movie. It's so good. The story is so good.
Yes, it really is. So you have played it then?
James.
Yeah, I played and completed it back in the day. Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, it really is, right? Like, I mean, and I don't know if you played it or not, but there's one version that has voice in it,
Ooh. Oh, the fancy CD-ROM version? Look at you.
Yeah.
I can afford the CD-ROM, mate.
That's what I played. And, and of course, the voices aren't like spectacular or anything, but the writing in the game, right? First of all, like the overall story is, it does hit all the exact beats that like a proper Indiana Jones film does. A good Indiana Jones film does. And then the dialogue, some of the dialogue's pretty dated. Some of it's not the best. Some of it's like also kind of weird. But by and large, like the dialogue is pretty damn good for an adventure game that came out in the early '90s. And even the puzzles, like all the puzzles, like feel pretty good for an Indiana Jones adventure game.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I was impressed. I was really impressed. I had a lot of fun playing that. That actually then put me on a thing where I was like, I never played Day of the Tentacles, and I'm going to play that. And that was a lot of fun too.
I'm making a mental note to try this game out.
You know what's annoying?
Indiana Jones what's that?
You know what's annoying, Matt? They actually made an Assassin's Creed Odyssey DLC pack called The Fate of Atlantis. So if you do a Google for that, you get that now. You don't get the original.
Say that.
Nah, man, I guess you got to put it. You're gonna have to put Indiana Jones in. Gonna have to put in Indiana Jones, man. Yeah,
Thanks,
definitely.
You're welcome.
I think you guys should definitely try that out if you haven't. It was a lot of fun.
All right.
Cool. We kind of have a trolley question in the chat from our good buddy Russ Greeno. He says, "Hey, hey Matt, is there going to be Resident Evil Village Cloud Edition for Switch?"
It's a great question. And I unfortunately can't say anything about any kind of Resident Evil.
So Russ, let me just answer on behalf of Matt. Absolutely, you heard it from me.
Oh, there you go.
I'm the authority on this. No,
Matt, can you tell us what team you're in at the moment, or is that all under wraps?
I mean, I just shipped Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition on PS5 and Xbox Series X. So, yeah, if you have PS5 or Xbox Series X, you can play Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition. That's something that I made.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, maybe I'll order that right now. I got my fancy Series X.
All right,
yeah.
Good deal.
Yeah, no.
Also coming to Switch, right?
Yeah.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
Let's quit bugging Matt about this stuff.
I'd like that.
Yeah. All right.
Right then.
Cool. Well,
like
we kind of talked about at the beginning of the show, we do want to make sure we can, get. I don't know how much time Matt has or anything. I don't want to keep him up all night or anything too. But before we get into our special segment, kind of looking back on the history of the show again, Famicast 10. Woo! Year of the Famicast.
10 years. 10 years.
It's
made a proper montage, right?
Yeah. But before we get to that, Ty is going to grace us with a little bit of anime trash.
All right. Matt, do you know what this is? All right. So
I see a Killer Instinct jacket behind you.
Yeah, that's a very fancy jacket that I own. That's one of the Nintendo Power ones from the 90s. It cost me a lot of money to get that.
That's awesome.
But it was worth it. I had that eBay alert ready for like 10 years.
Nice.
That's right. Another 10-year anniversary. So, a few episodes ago, I pulled this segment out of my ass where I play UFO catchers online, and I wait until the show to open up the boxes. So it's like a special surprise for everyone. And it turned out to be a really weird and popular segment, I guess. So I'm Christ.
It's amazing. It's like the little kids. They love to watch. They love to watch that kind of thing where what is it like the LOL toys or whatever, like the toys where they can the same kind of like gacha mechanic where you don't know what's going to be in the toy box, right? Like that's all. There's surprise. That's all they do.
Right.
Sweet, man. So you're doing that.
Yeah, I'm doing it, and except I get the prizes and you get nothing. But it's different from gacha because like I use my raw skill to win these prizes. Right? I'm actually playing UFO catcher on a live stream on the internet. And so this is Toribot. This is like the super big popular UFO catcher site. Right. And we're gonna see what random bullcrap I won and forgot about. Oh, there's a few things in here. All right. Packing paper. Wow, there's 4 prizes in here.
Wow.
Yeah. So we have an anime girl figure.
Wow. What anime is it?
This is that time I was reincarnated as a slime.
Okay.
So this will go next to the ones I had last episode.
All right.
Right? I'm getting the set gradually. What else? Oh, I got a cute little Sailor Mercury.
All right.
Yeah.
I thought that was Tuxedo Mask.
Nope. Sailor Mercury is my favorite. You can put that on record. Now I got this is what all the kids want. This is a Demon Slayer little figurine. I guess she pops out of that house or something.
Yeah, they keep her in the house to I should ask my wife. She has like read all the manga and watched all the anime.
Right. Like there's a 4 in the set, and I think it's the one with the little house.
Yeah. It's more like a cage.
Okay.
Yeah. Sell that on Medicati for a couple bucks.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I got another Demon Slayer thing. It's like this orange hair guy.
Yeah.
You can't see what this is, so I'm gonna open it up.
You just halved the value by opening it.
Right. The retail value, yeah.
Oh no. But I actually this one was like 100% free because I won it with my daily free tickets.
Nice.
Yeah. This one was almost free. It took me 2 tries.
For you guys out there that, well, I mean, obviously if you're a longtime fan of the show, you know what this is all about. But yeah, like these, well, at one point, these UFO catchers were available like internationally too. I don't know how they've worked with the shipping, but yeah, Ty, you can go ahead and just get your other stuff ready. I'll just kind of explain. But yeah, so like I always link them up in like the description on here on the YouTube video and stuff like that. So maybe one day when it happens again, you could give it a shot. But that's probably not happening anytime soon. But you could at least like play or whatever. I think, so
you might be able to get shipping from Toreba. Don't quote me on that though.
Okay.
This package is from Goton, which is formerly Sega Catcher. I think their URL is still Sega Catcher. So this is actually from Sega.
Goton.
Yeah, right? That must be the sound effect. When you win a prize and it drops in return. That extremely satisfying sound.
Yeah. I think that's what their website, how it kind of describes it too. Like with
and they've got I mentioned last time, and they have the whole Prime service now.
Oh.
Yeah. All right. This is a big fluffy anime doll.
Okay.
I don't know what this is. Yeah, it's safe for work. It's pretty cute. It's appropriate for all ages. This is Non Biori. Yeah, I don't know what this is, but it's cute.
Yeah.
Yep. Got it in a couple tries. Yeah. Throw it on the pile.
Throw it in the pile of trash.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, so like Matt, I mean, do you play much like UFO catchers, or did you at some point when you were here in Japan? Like, I mean, obviously you're still here, but yet during your time.
Yeah, unfortunately, I've messed around with them a little bit before, but I've never won anything. So I'm really impressed here that Ty's been able to win all this stuff, man.
Yeah, I'm pro. I'm the apex predator of UFO catchers.
That's amazing, man.
I think Matt's slowly realizing that every single item behind is one from a crane.
Yes, like almost literally everything behind me. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe not the GameCube. Maybe not the GameCube, but
yeah, not the GameCube, but yeah, anything that looks like anything that looks like a figure or a stuffed toy. I guess you have to be opportunistic, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, like it's not one thing, but.
Okay. You kind of have to look at the positioning of, look at all the different, all of them, all the machines that are around, and look at the positioning where everything's at.
Yeah,
that kind of
and
stuff.
You have to know like what's not worth going for. That's a big thing. It's really easy to get stuck in some like sunk cost boondoggle and be out like a ton of money.
Well, and so many of them, like it's just the actual crane itself is so flimsy, right? That like even if you manage to like position it and pick something up, then it slides right off because the crane doesn't actually have any power to hold it, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a per machine setting. So yeah, if you most UFO catchers, you can configure them to have like a really tight grip or a really loose grip.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
But you don't really want to grip things directly all the time. You want to think outside the box and see if you can like manipulate the prize into the return some other bizarre way with the clever application of physics. All right.
That's
so
cool,
this,
man.
yeah, this is another cartoony. What's the word I'm looking for? Vocaloid.
Oh, okay.
Part of it.
Yeah.
It's part of a set. It's gonna go right next to the Miku right here.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty cute. What is this character's name?
Yeah.
Ren. That's it.
I think you're asking. I think you're asking the wrong group of guys. But
really, you guys aren't Vocaloid enthusiasts?
It's been a while, but yeah.
We can make up names for her, right?
Yeah, we could.
Right. All right.
Jenny. It's Jenny. Jenny the Vocaloid.
There's another thing in here.
I've been called Jenny before.
There you go.
All right. This is some sort of random poster I got.
Oh, poster.
Because it was an easy get.
Safe for work?
Yeah, I think it's safe. I think this might be like a reflective or iridescent or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fancy.
Maybe I could open it up, but it might be an endeavor. Okay. Yeah, it'll be fun.
All right. Well, we do want to make sure that we
get. You guys could probably get. You guys probably get a bunch of views if you just have a section where you're live streaming Ty on the machines here, as like tutorials for like this is how you can be as cool as Ty.
Yeah, I have done UFO Catcher live streaming, but like only for like friends, not like a public thing.
Nice. I think that's one of your Patreon tiers right there, man.
Yeah. Right? Watch me spend your money.
Lock your bedroom door over 18s only.
Mom, don't come in.
Just being careful with this poster. You don't know what it's gonna have on it.
Right.
Yeah.
Over 18s only.
All right. Yes, I'm actually opening up the poster. Oh, okay. No, it's nice. This is wholesome.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Only a little bit of leg. Okay.
Pretty fancy. Looking. Yeah. She has thigh-high socks. There you go.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. It's a nice poster. Maybe I'll put it up back there. Throw it on the pile.
It is.
Right. Did I have one more box? Yes, I did.
All right. While you're getting that, we have a couple of comments. So you can go ahead and get that ready, Ty. Russ Greeno. Hey, sorry I had to take my phone call. Blah, blah, da, da, da. Oh God, he is talking to no, stop. Wind back 10 minutes, please. Also, Matt looks like you and McGregor in Star Wars in that brown hoodie. There it is.
Nice.
I appreciate it. Yeah, this hoodie. This is I got this hoodie. Man, I think my mom gave it to me for Christmas back like before I moved to Japan, so like 2005 or 2006. It's this old Nintendo hoodie.
Oh.
It's just I don't know. It says magic on it. It's got a super mushroom on it. But
that's cool.
I've been wearing this for a long time just because it's real comfy.
Nice.
You see, I'm also wearing a Mario shirt.
Yeah.
That rules.
There you go.
You got it in 2005. That's pre Famicast. That's valid for today's episode.
Right.
All right. I think this is the box you guys have been waiting for.
Oh God.
Finally.
All right. Let me ask you a question. Do you like Sakura Taisen?
I've heard of that.
Yeah. So I somehow have a Sakura Taisen figure.
Nice. Oh, it's a new one too.
Yeah.
It's the Shin Sakura Taisen. Look at that.
Yeah, it's fancy. Like I just saw it randomly. It looked like a pretty easy get, so I grabbed it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you play that? Did you play the new one?
No, I've actually never played a Sakura Taisen game, but I've known some fans of it, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's any in our listeners. So yeah, check it out. It's Sakura Taisen. Maybe I'll play it now.
There it is.
All right.
Available now.
All right.
Sakura Taisen available now.
Available now on a Japanese Sega Saturn.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, this one's huge. This is this is yet another bunny girl Hatsune Miku. So yeah, there you go.
Definitely over 18s only.
Yeah.
getting all these bunny girls in time for Easter.
There it is. Okay.
Right. Yeah. Wow. This box is actually huge.
It's like bigger than your head.
Big, yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that. Bigger head, man.
Yeah, I got this big figure. All right, I'll set this up for the next episode. Drop by our Discord. Drop by our Discord, and I'll take a picture once I assemble it. It actually took me a while to assemble all these. Somebody asked me to last episode, so I went for it. Okay, there's one left.
It's available on the quest.
Yes, and we're hitting peak anime here.
Oh shit!
All right, we have some sort of maid figure. Oh yeah, this is a Sword Art Online.
Oh my god!
Looks like she has elf ears and she's a maid. So yeah, this is peak anime.
All right,
maid. There you go.
Yep. Don't come in, Mom.
Don't come.
Mom. Okay. So yeah, if you've ever watched Sword Art Online, you know that it's pretty much peak weeaboo trash. And there will be more where this came from on the next episode. Yes, I've already won more things.
Wow,
nice.
Man, cool. That's impressive. That's impressive.
Yeah, maybe
that's just
we'll do some live streams later. That's an idea.
Yeah, it's just like 2 weeks of stuff too.
Yeah.
You got those between episodes of the show?
Yes.
Holy shit.
Right?
I'm telling you, that's going to be your next Patreon tier. It's going to be Ty in your next Patreon tier. It's going to be, live streams of Ty actually doing the crane game so people can understand how to do that. And then Danny wearing the thigh-high socks, something.
I have the socks.
There you go.
Wow.
Nice comment from James Allen. He says, "Thank God I'm home alone and the kids are finally at school."
Rated M for mature.
That's right.
Right.
I guess if the kids are finally at school, that means that James is probably in the UK, huh? Or at least in Europe somewhere.
Yep.
Yes,
right?
he is in the UK.
Yeah. All right.
Meanwhile, we're getting our vaccine sometime in 2023, I think.
There it is.
Nice.
One of these days.
Alrighty, James, how about you take over, bud? We got the big event coming up.
That's right. Well, today, episode 193, we're doing part 1 of our 8-part kind of Famicast look back, Famicast history, counting down to episode 200, obviously. Yeah, think about it. You do the math. So yeah, for this part 1, the reason why we had Matt on the show is because today the topic is before the podcast, pre-Famicast. So kind of leading up to the years of us joining Nintendo World Report up to the creation of the Famicast. And that's me, Matt, and a little bit of Danny were involved in that. Danny was kind of like just before the Famicast created.
Right.
So yeah, the first thing we're going to do, we're going to look at our 3DS activity logs later. But before that, we're going to actually talk about some old TGSs, because that's basically why me and Matt were hired for to Nintendo World Report. It was either to do translation, scanning, magazines or online articles in Japanese that no one can read, and attending TGS, and that's what we did. Matt, do you remember what year you joined NWR? For me, I think it was 2007. I think TGS 2007 was my first.
Good question.
I mean, you probably attended the show before that, right? But do you remember when you joined NWR?
I mean, it must have been either sometime between 2007 and 2009. I forget which year. When I joined them, it was John Lindemann was running the show.
Right. I was going to ask about. Yeah, Lindy was director for a brief while. I think maybe a year or 2 years or something like that.
Yeah, it wasn't as long as right. Yeah. So when you joined them, was he director? Or was it Neil at that point?
No. Neil was much later. I was. For me it was Windy Man, Steven Rodriguez. He was director who hired me.
Okay.
Yeah. So in 2007, actually on Matt, I've got in the agenda. I don't know if you can see the agenda here, but like your first TGS, I think, was 2009. So you probably did join around about 2009.
Yeah, probably a little after you. Yeah.
So in 2007, this was me doing solo, TGS by myself, not knowing what the hell's going on, not knowing what to do.
Easy.
Yeah, easy peasy, right? Yeah, covering a E3 size event by myself. Yeah, in a foreign country. Good times. So I only played 3 games, and one of them is quite interestingly relevant to today's podcast because I played Soul Calibur Legends, which was like a spin-off, Wii game, like a non-fighting game, like a third person, action game. And the other one was Knight's Journey of Dreams, like the sequel to Knight's, right?
Yeah, the Wii one, right?
Yeah, we were just talking about that,
Yeah.
Balan Wonderland today, And the other one was No More Heroes. Which is a game. Well, we talked about No More Heroes 3 recently, right? There it is. So that was 2007.
2007. The Wii came out in 2006, right? So this is like, at this point, the Wii hasn't even been out for a year yet, right?
Yeah. Wii was
that's great.
Well, pretty new. I mean, people were pretty excited about No More Heroes because they wanted like a violent, realistic, not realistic, but like what do you call it? A mature game. They always used to say that back in the Wii days, right? We need mature games.
Well, and at that point, Waggle hadn't really been, played out yet, right? So I think every time it started with what was the game that came out? I think with the Wii, that the Ubisoft game that had the shooting and the what I'm talking about?
Yes.
The shooting and
Red Steel.
the sword play. Red Steel.
Right.
So starting with Red Steel, it's like everybody was looking forward to having like a game where you could like swing the Wiimote and it would be like, you're actually fighting with a sword, right? Mm-hmm. And then that didn't quite live up to everybody's expectations. So it's like every next game that had like a sword, you're like, all right, this is gonna be the one where it's gonna be like I'm actually swinging the sword and it's gonna be really cool. And so I think No More Heroes was one of those.
Yeah.
You remember playing that?
Yeah. No More Heroes. I think it was the first game I played, like at TGS 2007, and it was that weird thing where you had to hold up the Wii remote to like hear your mission objectives, like a telephone.
Yeah.
that was a thing.
That's right. Because that was one of the things with the Wiimote is that it had the speaker on it, and that was like one of the innovative things. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Looking back at that No More Heroes preview, it got a lot of comments on it. Like, that was my first, big, preview. My first and big preview was pretty exciting. Lots of people complaining about the graphics not being realistic enough. But, there you go. That was a thing back then. And then moving on to 2008, I played a few more games. I played Bomberman 2. Huh? No, not Bomberman 2. No, that wasn't me. No, Gardening Mama. Okay. Cool. Gardening Mama. Okay. So that was a DS game.
Nice.
I vaguely remember that, and my most vivid memory of that game is not the game, but they gave me a present, which was like a little bento box, like a little lunch box, and it had like tomatoes and cucumbers and sweet corn, and they were all erasers.
Nice.
And it was so beautiful. It was like, you would buy that in a store for like 2,000 yen. Right. And I was like, I get this for free? Awesome. I've since lost it. Whatever. It was cool at the time.
That's really cool. That's really clever too.
Yeah. And the other one was Tenchu Shadow Assassins.
Okay.
Which that's another Wii game. But the thing with TGS, covering TGS as a Nintendo guy, is that Nintendo don't go to TGS, so it's only like third-party games. Mm-hmm. So it's like Nintendo third-party. It's like the start of a joke. Right? Let's play all these amazing third-party Nintendo games. Yeah, they don't exist. But I remember reasonably enjoying that. But yeah, it is what it is. But anyway,
I think the nice thing though is that because it's if there's any show that's going to have third-party Nintendo games, it's going to be TGS, right? Because the Nintendo system is always going to be the one that's really, really strong in Japan, right?
Exactly, yeah. So I was just trying to think of the first. Oh, so that was 2008, and I was actually on a episode of RFN in December 2008. And I was trying to reference the dates and stuff. Like I was trying to like find out, what podcasts happened before the Famicast. So I was on 2 episodes of RFN in 2008. The first one was called The Other Britain, because it was me and Greg, and then the other one was Tri-Continental Time Zone Panic, and I believe I talked about TGS on that episode. I can't be sure, but anyway. But the next one, Matt was here. So Matt, 2009.
Okay.
You were on an episode of RFN. It was called Audio Slow Motion.
Okay.
That was the only RFN episode that I could find that you were on. I don't think you've been on any other episodes. Just that one.
I think you're right. I think that may be the only one that I was on. Yeah. I vaguely remember recording it. I don't remember what we talked about at all.
And TGS 2009, if just bringing it up here. So you played Silent Hill Shattered Memories.
Okay. Yeah.
And Okamiden.
Okay.
And Ghost Trick. I'm saying
okay. Wow.
So you like Capcom games?
Yeah. Well, I mean, even then, like, and I think now it's still kind of the case to an extent, but at TGS, Capcom always had one of the biggest booths, and frankly, even now that's the case.
Yeah.
Oh, and Matt, you actually played Red Steel 2, a game that we just talked about
like
3 seconds ago.
Oh my God. And I don't remember playing that at all.
Yeah.
But actually, I do remember playing Ghost Trick and Okamiden, truth be told.
So yeah, I played the other Capcom games. I played Resident Evil: The Dark Side Chronicles, which was the what do you call
light gun?
The scrolling light gun.
Yeah, it's like a light gun game. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that being fun. It was kind of interesting because they kind of like tried to blend several of the final Resident Evil stories together in one game.
Yeah,
I can't remember exactly which ones they were, but it was like Resident
I think
Evil.
it was there was Dark Side Chronicles and I think Umbrella Chronicles.
Yeah, that's where I got confused with like all of those, but yeah.
Right, and I want to say that both of them like some events cover like the events from like some of the games, and then some are like in between the games. And that was actually directed by the first director that I ever worked with at Capcom, the guy named Yasuhiro Seto. And he actually directed both of those. He had worked on like the scenario for RE2 and stuff way back in the day. He's a really cool guy.
Wow, cool.
Yeah.
Nice. What was the other game? Oh, Monster Hunter Tri. For some reason, I ended up playing Monster Hunter Tri. Yeah, I do remember that because I had this kind of tradition of like interviewing the booth companions at TGS. That kind of became my thing, and it just got more and more ridiculous with each year. But I think the main thing was just so we could skip the line because the lines were ridiculous for Monster Hunter. So if we said, can we interview the companion, then that would kind of get us ahead in the queue, and then we could play the games.
That's brilliant, man.
That's right. And then the other games were Puyo Puyo 7 and Super Monkey Ball Step and Roll, which I think you played on a Wii balance board.
Oh yeah.
Sounds like the worst idea ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta, Lord bless them for trying something new.
Right.
And then, so Matt, we both wrote a couple of blogs after that TGS. I wrote one called how I almost played Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles: The Crystal Bearers, where I talked about how I sat through a 15-minute cutscene and then as soon as the gameplay started, my time was up. And Matt, you read a blog called Hands On with Frank West in Tatsunoko versus Capcom.
Wow. Okay.
There you go. Did you end up buying that?
I did not. I did not buy it. I love the Tatsunoko games were the ones that the Tatsunoko vs. Capcom. The artist that did all the artwork for that was Shinkiro, the guy that he used to do artwork for like King of Fighters and stuff.
Yeah, did you see the new artwork Shinkiro did for Fortnite?
Yeah. And now everybody's deep faking
Yes.
singing, right? Oh,
Yes,
brilliant.
yeah.
It's brilliant. It's amazing. Those deep faking things, is it just like software you can like where you just like pop a picture in and then you can do that now?
Pretty much.
That's amazing. But yeah, the artist was Shingiro, the guy that did all that amazing King of Fighters artwork back in the day. So that's certainly something that sticks out for me about Tatsunoko vs. Capcom.
Nice. On the same thread is that you run another episode of RF immediately after TGS. You just a special segment you did about TGS called episode 164, I Dream of Biggie. So yeah, there it is. I'm noticing a pattern here, like either me or Matt get invited on RFN to talk about TGS for a bit.
About TGS, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense though. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
You can see how the inception of the Famicast. You can see how it was how it started here, right?
Well, the inception of the Famicast was all you, man.
We're getting there. We got one more TGS to talk about. That was pre Famicast. That was 2010. Me and Matt both attended that one. And Matt, you played Gyakuten Kenji, which is that Edgeworth?
Yes.
Yep.
And you also played Kingdom Hearts Recoded. I guess was that on 3DS or DS?
No, 2010 was on DS.
DS.
Yeah, it must have been DS. Yeah, I vaguely remember playing that. Yeah.
And another DS game you played was Ni no Kuni, Shikoku no Madoshi. I guess that's the DS game with the huge book, right?
Oh yeah, I have it. I have it behind me. Maybe if I'll dig it out while you guys are talking.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, another Capcom game mixed in there.
Ni no Kuni was actually Ni no Kuni was level 5, I think.
Yeah. I mean Gyakuten Kenji.
Okay, right on.
Capcom, right?
Yeah. Once again, like the Capcom booth, there was always the Capcom booth was the biggest booth. So I just flocked to that one, man.
Yeah.
By the way, just for the record, so here's the big, Ni no Kuni DS book. I mean,
Christ.
there's
Beautiful.
Obviously, like the DS game in here, and then like there's a bunch of other crap too. But yeah, maybe that's something for another time. But
I remember that being really cheap though in Japan, right? It's like, did you get that for like 1,000 yen or something, Danny?
Oh, it's cheap. I didn't pay much for it, that's for sure.
It's just people want to get rid of it because it's so big, right?
Yeah.
So for some reason, I didn't play any 3DS games or DS games. I played the one Wii game. There was only one Wii game at the whole TGS. This was in 2010, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I guess Wii is getting long in the tooth a bit now. I played Inazuma 11 Strikers. Isn't there a Switch game coming out or something like that? Maybe.
Oh, I thought, did that thing just like die, like fade away? Man, even Strikers.
Maybe.
There's like multiple ones on the Wii. I played a version of that at some point at a TGS.
Right. Anyway, it's a football game, anime football game. Yeah, it wasn't. I remember playing with a classic controller though. Remember those?
Yep.
So yeah, that was the end of TGS coverage pre-Famicast. Anyway, but the thing that kicked off thoughts about the Famicast were Nintendo World 2011. We've talked about this before. Matt, I can't remember if you working for Capcom already at this time? 2011?
I started Capcom in December of 2010. So yeah, 2011, I was already at Capcom.
Yeah, so I don't think you could come to this event, or maybe if you did, you were behind the scenes and I couldn't see you. But this was like the reveal of not the reveal of the 3DS, but like this was the 3DS blowout, right? This is the first time when the 3DS was playable. I was there alone, and I did make a video. And friend of the show, patron of the show, Lemonade, he actually found it on YouTube and shared it on our Discord. It was me trying my best. It was like one of the first videos I ever did. Me as a presenter. It's like, hi, I'm James, and I'm in Tokyo. It's not Tokyo, and I'm at this Nintendo event. I remember getting told off for recording the live music. A nice lady came up and did the cross, because they were playing like all Nintendo songs, they had a little band there,
and they were recording it in 3D for the 3DS.
Yeah. Exactly. I guess they stopped her they stopped you then. That makes sense.
Yeah. But I still managed to squeeze a few clips of that into the video. And Danny, you were there, but we didn't meet. We didn't know each other at the time.
Yeah, that was before I started working for NWR. Like I just went there, I just saw that it was a thing. I was like, man, I want to play 3DS, and because I was like a reader of Nintendo World Report at the time, and I think I wrote about it on like my personal blog or something, and I took a lot of pictures. I waited like 90 minutes to play Ocarina of Time 3D, and like all of that type of stuff. I played most of the big games there. It was pretty cool. And I probably saw you there, James, but I just didn't know that you were you.
Right, exactly. So I played Nintendo Dogs and Cats, Super Street Fighter 4 3D, Biohazard Revelations,
nice,
and Kid Icarus Uprising, which is not called that in Japanese. It's called Shin Hikari Shinwa Parutena no Kagami. But yeah, there it is. Yeah, and made a few videos as well, like the Mario Kart trailer was there. Like that was people pretty excited about that. It wasn't called Mario Kart 7 at the time. I think it was just called Mario Kart 3D or 3DS or something like that. But yeah, they had that wall of 3DSs, right? You could just stick your head in and watch the trailer in 3D. Right. That was a fun time. So that was when was that? That was January 2011.
Yeah. It was that first public holiday. What is that? The coming of age day or whatever. Whatever, it doesn't matter. It was like early January.
So this is it. January 2011. I was at that event, and then I got invited on RFN 227. It's called National Pastime. I went on RFN whatever. The same week that I went to this event, I got invited on. I was just a guest segment. I wasn't on for the whole show. I was just on for like a whatever 30-40 minute segment. And I think it was Johnny and Greg were talking to me or like asking me about what I played, what I saw, and stuff like that. And there were so many things I wanted to say about what I played and what I saw, but I couldn't really. It was just a small segment, right? And then after that went live, I thought, man, there's so much more we could do with this. We should do like a Japan version of RFN. We should do like a little supplementary thing. It's like okay, I'll see if Matt's interested. I was like, dude, do you want to record a podcast, and we'll maybe RFN can stick it in their show at the end or something like that. And Matt seemed game, but then we were kind of going with emails going back and forth, and dude, maybe we could do it as a separate podcast. Let's do NWR JAPANeCast. Yeah, I think that was the first name.
Yep, you're right. Yeah, that's what it was.
And it was bit of back and forth thing, and then eventually we arrived on Famicast. It's Famicast sounds cool, right? So yeah, through some artwork together, made the podcast, and Danny, I guess did you join NWR that week, the next week, something?
So I joined in it was
February, March.
It was February of 2011.
Okay.
There was that game, The Last Story, had just came out, or was just coming out, and I think because Neil had just started being the director, and they had applications or whatever. I sent mine in, And he was like, "Yo, if you can, get the last story and play it and write something about it, you're hired." I'm like, "All right, let's do this." And like, I think I worked harder at that than I did at like my real job.
Cool.
Yeah, I think I played for like, I don't know, something like 10 hours straight, and then I stayed up to like 4 a.m. writing impressions, and it was like, at the time, it was like the best thing I'd ever written. It's probably shit, but whatever. But yeah, that was fun. Yeah, so
you treated it like a real job.
Yeah.
More than your actual job.
Yeah.
And that was back when, the last story and a couple of those other games,
Pandora's
including Xenoblade, right?
Yeah, Xenoblade came out like it was 2010 in Japan, like June 2010, and
right.
Yeah, Pandora's Tower is a weird one. That came out of nowhere.
yeah, it did. It did. And that one never got actually brought over, did it?
It did.
The other two did, though, right? Did
Pandora's
Tower brought over?
Yeah.
My God, because remember, there's like a whole thing where Nintendo fans really wanted those 3 titles, and there was like no plan to bring them over, right?
Yep.
What was it called? Project what? Do you remember what that was?
Operation Rainfall.
Operation Rainfall.
Thanks, Reggie. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, James, I didn't mean to derail you.
No. I was actually looking for stuff while you were talking.
Okay.
I was just trying to find some things that I'd written down. So yeah, that happened, back to back. It was like January, it was the event, and then my little segment on RFN. Then next month, Danny joined, and then March we start brainstorming to do the podcast. And then, I think Danny joining kind of clinched it. It's like, okay, we got 3 guys in Japan.
Yep.
We got lots of things to talk about. The 3DS has just come out, and you both had got the 3DS. I hadn't at the time. It's like, come on, we could make a show out of this, man, easily. We had a lot of shit to talk about, right?
Oh yeah.
And that's what it was. Famicast episode 1, 3DS Get, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow! So the first episode we were talking about the 3DS. Okay, holy crap!
Yeah, like I said, I was listening to it last night, going through like music tracks and stuff, and I was like, just sat down for like about 10 minutes, just going through, and like you and me, Matt, we're talking about our launch day stories and stuff like that. What we picked up. You're talking about how you picked it up, I think in Ikebukuro or something, and yeah, good times, man. It's just just kind of weird how that time flies by, and then just listening to yourself talk, it's kind of weird. Like, oh, that was me 10 years ago.
You probably sound a lot younger too.
I think so.
Right. It's been 10 years.
And look a lot younger.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I think James and I have a lot more gray in our beards now.
Right.
I still can't grow a beard, so some things never change.
True story.
But you know what? That means you don't have any gray on your face, so you're looking a lot younger than us, man.
It's getting up there in the hair though, so I don't care though. It's fine.
Right.
10 years ago, we didn't have any of this.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Here we go. Look at that.
Yeah.
Nintendo World 2011 tour. Very cool.
No gray in the beard there whatsoever.
Yeah, you're looking pretty good, man.
Yeah.
I really wanted to go to this thing, but I think I may, if it was in January of 2011, I may just have been busy. I'm actually taking my business became at that point. Because I would have loved to go to this. I was super stoked about the 3DS when they announced it, obviously. But I really wanted to see it. I really wanted to see what that 3D was going to be what it was going to be like without glasses.
Yeah.
And when we finally did get those 3DSs on launch day, man, I busted mine out. I got the blue one, and I bought Pilot Wings and Super Street Fighter 4. Were the 2 games I bought.
Yeah, I remember you buying
Capcom game, right?
You actually like that, right?
Yeah, I like it a lot. But I mean, for me, it was just super exciting. Well, first of all, it was just super exciting to have like a portable version of Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not like particularly good at it.
Same.
And then it was really cool to have it in 3D, even though it turned out that the backgrounds were all kind of static or whatever. That was still kind of cool.
It's just like early days of 3DS. I mean, devs are trying out a bunch of different stuff too. So it's like, just kind of trying to figure out what they can do to make it more 3D or whatever, right?
Right. Yeah. There's all kinds of stuff, right? And it was interesting to see that a lot of games they would stop they definitely eventually made it so that basically all the 3D was inside the screen, right? Like as opposed to like trying to bring it out towards you. There must have been some kind of thing there where, you know, if there's something about it doesn't feel comfortable if it's, you know, in front of the screen or whatever. But I mean, in the end, I think most people ended up turning off the 3D. Although I personally, I used 3D throughout almost the whole life cycle of the 3DS. I must be the only person in the world that did that.
I'm number 2 here, buddy.
Nice.
I only started using it on the new 3DS, which came out years later, because that had the eye tracking, so it didn't matter. You didn't have to be like locked right in the middle of the screen like that. That was such a good improvement. So we at the beginning of the Famicast, by the way, you know, well, you know, I'd been on the site for like a few years, but like I hadn't really been involved in any of the creation part of the podcasting side. You know, we had Radio Trivia and RFN. You know, later we had other shows like Connectivity and stuff like that. But like, I'd been on Radio Trivia actually quite a few times before the Famicast. Actually, like I'd been on. Let me see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 episodes of Radio Trivia because TYP had been living in Japan. He was living in Okinawa. And, you know, he used to do regular shows with people in the US. But then he moved to Japan and it was like, all of a sudden people like, nope, sorry, dude, I can't wake up that early / that late. And then, so then, you know, when he knew that when I joined Nintendo World Report, is like, do you want to join me? I'm like, yeah, sure. Not very good at the game, you know, like guessing game music, but I joined it and I enjoyed it. I think that was my kind of dipping my toes in the water, like, you know, podcasting. You know, big thanks to TYP for like, you know, getting me used to, you know, podcasting basically. And we actually have a message from TYP. He sent us a birthday message for the show, so I thought we could listen to that right now.
Okay, let's do it.
Please understand.
Here we go.
Gas crew, it's TYP here. Congratulations on 10 years of trolling the internet. Wow. You know, I actually planned a pretty special little video here. I was going to do like a drink video like I did back in like Akihabara with James Charlton, but my computer kind of pooped out on me. Audio's all garbled. So long story short, I checked out this Bikuru, which I never tried before from my Japanese supermarket. Actually tastes pretty good. I was expecting to gag on it. Not bad. It's pretty similar to Calpico. But so I didn't gag, so you didn't miss anything. Anyway, cheers, everyone. Kanpai. Here's to another 10 more years of Famicasting.
Oh. It's funny. He said it's Calpico in America, right? It's Calpis in Japan, right. Which is you can tell why they changed the name, right? But yeah, TYP, thanks so much.
Look at that. I haven't seen him in a while, man. I've had the wonderful opportunity to see him a couple times when I was in the States. And I think there was one time I got a chance to go visit him and his wife where they lived. Yeah, it was fantastic, man. Really, really good people.
Cool.
Yeah, he actually came to Japan as, you know, with his wife and kid. I managed to meet up with him, and we did like a tiny like 2-minute segment with him. I can't remember what episode that was on, but that's in like you know, since we're on Patreon, it's like one of the new episodes. But yeah, it was awesome to meet up with him again. He mentioned like the Akihabara video. We're going to talk more about that in the next show, because next episode we're going to talk about 3DS Street Pass. We're not talking about that today, but yeah. Another person which helped us out a lot when we first started the Famicast. Obviously, Johnny Metz was hosting RFN. And editor was Greg Leahy. So Greg was in charge of, you know, the FTP server and like uploading the episodes and like doing the RSS feeds and all that kind of stuff, which we knew nothing about. So to even get the Famicast on the RSS feed was like it was a big hassle, and Greg and Johnny were like huge help in getting the Famicast off, on the road, getting it live and getting it up on the feed and stuff like that. Couldn't have done it without them. And yes, so yeah, big thanks to those guys. And actually, Greg, we actually have a message from Greg Leahy, and he shared a lovely message with us, which I'd like to share with you guys now. So here is a lovely message from none other than Mr. Greg Leahy.
This is Greg from Radio Free Nintendo, the ancestral home of the Famicast, kind of, and I'm here to offer my warmest congratulations on the show reaching the milestone of its 10th anniversary. I still have vivid memories of the period leading up to the creation of the Famicast, with the anticipation building for the 3DS launch over here in the UK, following its debut in Japan, whatever the perceived weaknesses of the software lineup might have been. And of course, there was the feverish excitement of all that extra RSS feed checking that I was going to be doing. The way things now, it's hard for me to say whether those times feel like just yesterday or 100 years ago, but we're happier days for sure, and it's great to see how the show has grown and thrived since then. Here's to 10 more years of the Famicast and beyond. Cheers.
Wow, beautiful.
I was really expecting here. I was excited for a hot second there because I thought that we were going to get a chance to see what Greg looked like, and then we did. Because I was like, I've never seen Greg before, but yeah, here it is. It's a 3DS guy. But I guess on the flip side, that means that his voice doesn't sound any older than it did 10 years ago, and the 3DS thing here, his little me here, clearly hasn't aged at all. So far, he was the smartest one. By doing that, then it's not apparent that he's aged the way we have.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. James Allen also said the same thing. He said, "Oh man, yeah, we thought we were going to see what he looked like. Ahoy, hoy, everyone!" But nope.
Right. I know. I was really excited there for a couple seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, and yeah, Greg actually mentioned the RSS feed in his message there.
Mm-hmm.
Still has nightmares about it.
I bet. It's not fun.
Cool. So yeah, actually, I booted up the 3DS first time in a long time. My son has actually been using it recently. I kind of basically gave it to him at this point, because he's going to be turning 10 soon as well. My son, my then baby son, maybe I talked about my new baby in episode 2 or 3 or something like that. I can't remember exactly. Yeah. That was my new business for episode 2 or 3, right?
Wow, the earthquake too. Jeez.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's
when he was born, were you able to still play video games, or were you so busy with taking care of him that you really didn't get a chance to for a little while?
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? You kind of have your life obviously changes, your schedule, your timetable changes,
yeah,
you're incredibly tired, but you do find other time to play games as well, because for example, you put the baby down and then you immediately feel like, oh, I got some free time, maybe I'll play some games. So you kind of use your free time more wisely, I guess. So
right.
Yeah, you're playing at different times, but you are still playing games, I guess. Is the way
I had when my daughter was born, it was 2014, and I forget which one. It was either Monster Hunter 4, 4G, or Generations. It came out in Japan around that time. And what I would end up doing was, I was really into Monster Hunter at that point. And what I ended up doing was, when trying to put my daughter to sleep, we had one of those Ergo baby carriers, you can just kind of strap the kid.
Yeah. We had the same thing.
And so to put her to sleep, I would put her in there and kind of walk around, and I would hold my arm. I'm holding this 3DS up over her head, playing the game as I'm walking around, trying to put her to sleep.
There you go.
Right. That's how I ended up getting my game time in back then. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of my lullabies were based on Zelda themes. to be honest.
Nice. That's great.
Song of Storms. Song of Storms. That's a classic lullaby tune. Right.
That's great.
Man, I thought you'd be all over that. Come on, Zelda guy.
I love it, man. I was sitting there humming it with you. I don't know if you picked it up, but yeah, that's great.
Cool.
Do you let your son play video games for the most part now?
Yeah, I mean, he plays the, like I said, he plays the 3DS. I actually got him Sun and Moon. I got him Sun for the 3DS.
Okay. Do you let him play on the Switch or no?
Yeah. He plays on the Switch as well. I actually started using the feature that probably no one uses on this show, but like the what do you call it? The parental controls app. So you can see how long they've been playing and stuff like that. I find that really useful these days.
That's fantastic.
So yeah,
you can use it to restrict the time too, right? You can use it to say, okay, on this account you can play this many minutes a day, and then it'll just shut off when you hit that limit, right? That's fantastic. Exactly. That's really cool.
So it is very useful. So yeah, I booted up my 3DS. It's funny. I checked the friends list, and of course Danny's on there, Matt's on there, TYP's on there, Greg is on there. That's how I got the picture for his video. Ty is not on there because I don't think we ever got to the point where Ty actually turned on his 3DS and added people as a friend. Cyrus was on there. Even Cyrus was on there.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it was Natsukashi. Minoru was on there as well. I got Minoru as my friend. Yeah, that's funny. Maybe I'll make something for the YouTube channel. It's kind of interesting to see like what the last 3DS game was that we all played. Whatever, fucking 6 years ago now at this point.
Or unless you're me, I literally just picked up a game that is from 2011, Pro Yaku Spirits 2011, and it just came in the mail today from good old Midikari. So yeah.
Good job.
Runs like ass. But, whatever.
Runs like ass.
Great 3D though.
Cool.
Are you guys cool with sharing your top 5, top 10 most played 3DS games of all time?
I got my top 5.
You got your top 5? Okay. Oh, Danny, why do you start us off then?
Sure. Do you want me to just go through the whole list?
Yeah.
5.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is also including apps and stuff as well. So for my number 5. My number 5 was Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, right at about 38 hours. The next one was the Surechigai Mi Hiroba. What is that? Like the Mi?
Mi Plaza.
What is that?
Mi Plaza.
God. Mi Plaza for about 51 hours. My number 3 was Theater Rhythm Final Fantasy. 56 hours, 38 minutes. Number 2 was Bravely Default for the sequel. That was released.
The second one.
Yeah, well, they released Bravely Default in 2012. Yep. Then they released this updated version. It was coming out the same time that was coming out in the West. Basically, had a couple more things.
But that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
It's so weird because it's confusing. Because people in the West would be like, "Whoa, that's the second game." Like, no, it's actually the first one, but it's a terrible naming convention.
Because then the sequel then was Bravely Second, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So, man. But my number 1.
Bravely Default too.
Wow, there's that. Then there's that, which is even more confusing. But my number 1 was the eShop because that was 94 hours. And you have to remember at the time, I mean, there were a lot of like videos and stuff that you can watch on there. Like there was the Game Center CX type of stuff that you can watch. Obviously, trailers and stuff like that too. But
in 3D.
Cool.
You usually have to download those. But
the 3D ones.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Matt.
That was the 3D to watch the 3D videos. That was a special app. That was a separate one from the eShop, right, Danny?
Well, like there were okay. I wanted to give a special shout out to the Itsuno Ma ni Terebi, the collaboration between Fuji TV, one of the other networks here, Nintendo, where they had for a whole entire year before they just shut it down. Was like special programming, very short programming that they released every day. With a bunch of different stuff. You can go on online dates in 3D. You can go on the trains. Yeah. You could go on like little tours and stuff like that of kind of like scenic places all throughout Japan. It was awesome. And if you guys want to, like, seriously, if you're interested in that stuff, check out NWR. I wrote about it a lot. So it's like probably one on the internet where it's like chronicled. So yeah, you should check it out. But
yeah, you did it was called eShop Roundup, was it?
eShop Roundup for like 3.5 years, every single damn week. I don't know why, but I did it.
Oh, so. Well, no, it's so cool though, because I mean, really, yeah, it's kind of, you know, we didn't get it as much in the States, but like this, to an extent, this was also the case with the Wii. But in Japan, 3DS had all this cool stuff, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
you know, all this really cool, quirky stuff. It's kind of sad to think back, and you know, now, you know, the Switch, you know, the wonderful game machine, but yeah, it doesn't have all that kind of cool, quirky stuff that they did with the 3DS, right?
Right, and I think just generally speaking too, like since we've all came to Japan, the gaming landscape has changed. Where it used to be, you know, coming to Japan, having access to Japanese games and stuff like that, it was something cool, and we kind of had the edge. I don't know if it's like on coolness, but we had the edge on, at least on nerds.
Well, region locking also helped with that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean,
that's true.
Yeah.
Matt, you do you have your list, or can I go?
So I didn't pull out my 3DS. I have a sob story where my first 3DS. So my first 3DS, I got the original day one, the blue one. And then I sold that one to upgrade to a 3DS XL. And then again, when they made the new 3DS, I upgraded that one to the new. You could switch the face, you know. And I was all about. I had this really cool set of
the regular one, not the XL, the new regular size. Yeah. Yep. And I was really excited about that because, you know, I was able to get this really cool, like, Zelda theme faceplate. I was all about that. Love my little, you know, 3D, my new 3DS. And then one time I went on a trip to China for work, and like an idiot, I put it in my bag, and my bag was like half unzipped. So it like fell out of my bag as I was like running through China one day. And so because of that, I lost like all my save data and stuff. And I actually had a whole thing where, you know, I bought a ton of digital games by that point. And I was like, crap, I don't want to lose these games. I was like really distressed over it. So I basically like, I hounded like Nintendo customer support. And at first they were like, yeah, there's nothing we can do. And I just like, was like, please, you got to help me. And eventually they're like, all right, well, if you have a police report saying, you know, that you officially lost 3DS, you know, yeah, fine, we'll help you transfer your games. So I was able to do that. But yeah, because of that, like, obviously I don't know what my original, you know, list would have been, but I can tell you off the top of my head. I can tell you off the top of my head that my 5 most played games, I bet you 3 of them are Monster Hunter 4, Monster Hunter 4G, and Monster Hunter Generations. Because I played a crap ton of that. I can tell you that one of them is going to be Badge Arcade.
Oh yeah!
Wow.
I loved Badge Arcade, dude. I played Badge Arcade every day. You know, because I wanted to get in those 3, you know, pulls. I think it was 3 pulls a day that you got for free. I love that. You know, I love that you get those little badges and put them on the home screen. It's freaking awesome.
Yeah, I thought Ty would be all over that. That's like a game made for Ty.
I bet if Ty played it, the Badge Arcade. Did you ever play Badge Arcade at all?
No, I never played it. I remember. I think you guys were telling me about it. For a while.
Like it's a 2D crane game where it was one of like Nintendo's first forays into trying to do some kind of free to play mechanic. And so it was a crane game. And every day you get 3 pulls on it. And then you could pay more money if you wanted to get more. And it's just like every week they would add essentially a new crane game thing, like a new like space with a whole set of different stickers that you could add to your home screen.
Neat.
To your 3DS home screen. It's really cool because they had, you know, all these really cool themes, all these different themes. It was really cool. And then I would assume then that probably my 5th somewhere in there would have been actually just the original Super Mario Brothers. Just Super Mario Brothers is one of those games that just, you know, I go to and play through, you know, often because, you know, I'll just go through, you know, in 6 or 7 minutes. just for fun.
No problem
Yeah,
with
so
that.
it's probably the D-pad on the 3DS was okay, right? I think
the original is tiny, man. Like I made it work.
The thing with the 3DS, and actually I had this problem with the Joy-Cons, a similar problem with the Joy-Cons when the Switch first came out, but I adapted myself to it. The 3DS is, because the D-pad is lower on the 3DS, and you're supporting all the weight, because it's a heavy system, especially because it's got that second screen, right? So if you're supporting all the weight, like kind of with the top part of your hand to use that D-pad, your hands do get tired pretty fast, right? And I actually had the opposite problem with the Joy-Cons, where the Joy-Cons are tiny, but I like to use those bottom buttons, and I would have problems where, because they're tiny, if I tried to reach down with it in my hand in a normal way, like my thumb would get tired because I'm reaching down in a weird way. And so for Joy-Cons, at this point, I do it without even thinking. I hold the Joy-Cons a little higher up in my hands, so that my thumb's not reaching in a weird way when I want to hit those buttons.
Alrighty.
Good strategy.
So I got my top 10 list here. Number 10 is a Capcom game, Biohazard Revelations. Reviletones.
Revelatones.
Oh no,
right?
I've got the Japanese box, so it doesn't have the spelling mistake.
Revelatones.
Revelations. There. I played that for 16 hours.
What is it? Like a time attack mode? Right.
I'm sorry?
I would say Revelations had like a pretty good, I can't remember what kind of mode. I want to do like a time attack mode kind of thing. Score attack kind of mode.
It was called raid mode or something like that. Yeah, that was pretty good actually. Yeah.
That's good.
I seem to have memories of Zach Miller on NWR staff fame. He was really into that. Like he played, he's like top rank on everything in that game. Number 9 is Luigi's Mansion 2. Played that for 19 hours. 8 is Nintendo Shop for 29 hours. Nice. Then number 7 is Itsunoma, what would that be? Nikki's messaging app? Was it?
Swapnote.
Oh, thank you, Swapnote. Yeah, I love the shit out of Swapnote. I used to follow like a few of my friends, 3DS friends, were absolute pros at that, and they used to do like amazing like little stories and like comic books and everything. And actually, Zach, I just mentioned him. He used to upload his 3D booby figures, which is a tie-in. It's like almost like tie segment.
Right.
He used to take 3D photos of all his booby figures and upload like a new one every day.
yeah, I remember that.
But that service all got taken down probably because of Zach, to be honest. But yeah, I played that for 44 hours. Yeah, I guess I had a lot of fun with that.
Swapnote was great, man. I think the reason that Swapnote got taken out was because there was a problem where there some news outlet or somebody had reported that that basically like predators were preying on like young kids with Swapnote.
Yeah.
Because you could upload your own photos, right? Yeah.
And so like as soon as that news got out there, and it was like, all right, screw it, we don't want to take any chances, and they just took it down. Yeah, that's a shame because that was a really cool app.
Yeah, I'll have to boot that up. Maybe if some of my old messages are saved on there, I don't know.
Probably be like, it's all gone, thanks.
Yeah. Number 6, Super Mario 3D Land, 45 hours. Yeah, I love the shit out of that game. 100% did that game, amazing. Number 5 is number 5, I have to skip it because this is my son who's played it kind of recently. He's put 46 hours into Pokemon Sun. I didn't know that. Now I know. But his game has gone to my number 5. Wow. Mine is like 10 years worth of gameplay. His is like what, since Christmas? Like last Christmas? Shit. Yeah, I bought it December 2020. Yeah, it's Christmas present. Number 4, Super Mario Brothers 2. All about the gold. 51 hours. A lot of that was probably the extra DLC that they did for that as well. There's some really cool DLC for that.
Did you max out the coin counter on that?
Yeah, I got the million.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. Nice.
Number 3 is Mario Kart 7, a game which I don't really like, but I played a lot of multiplayer with my students. I'm talking like pre-Switch days. Number 2 is Smash Brothers for 3DS, 61 hours. And number 1 is Suruchigai Mi, the Mi Plaza. Oh no, Street. What do you call it? Street Plus. What's it called? Street Pass Plaza, I guess. Yeah.
Street Pass Plaza. Yeah.
109 hours. Because maybe that counts all the Street Plus games. Is that all enclosed in that? I guess.
Yeah.
The Street Pass Quest. The whatever the racing game, the shooting game, the zombie game. Yeah, I played a lot of those games, and I'm hopefully gonna do a video for the site about my Street Pass puzzle collection because I have every single puzzle. I think it's like maybe about 50, and 2 of them are Japan exclusive, and one of the Japan exclusive one is ridiculously rare. It's the one that you could only get in the airport, like Haneda Airport, and I went there specifically to get it. But it's probably me and like a handful of Japanese guys who have that one. So I'm hopefully going to do a video of that so you can see like every single Street Pass puzzle. But that's probably why I played it for so much. I like Street Pass. I think it's cool feature.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about more of that next episode. Yeah,
it makes sense that it took you as much time as it did because living here in Japan, I mean, you could, when we had our 3DSs, we could go to like Akihabara or something, right? And like, go Street Pass with people, open it up, clear it out, and then, play the games or whatever, and then close it again, and then just walk around a little bit, and then boom, you got 10 more, right? And you could just keep doing that, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Not like that out here in Saitama, I'll tell you that, but
right. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't even get to Tokyo, and I'd already have 10. I'd be on the train for like 5 minutes. It's crazy. Ty, rip in peace, I guess.
Yeah, I gave away my original 3DS to my friend. It also wasn't working exactly properly. he was like trying to salvage his Pokemon journal or whatever the heck. I did buy another 3DS at one point. I have literally not played it. It's been like on my do list for a while. After I take some steps to do things to it, I'll let you know how that goes.
Can you remember a single game you played on it, Ty?
Yeah, I did play just a little bit of that Gyakuten Saiban versus Layton.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, wow, this is all Japanese. This is too much work. I'm just going to hack this and play the American version. I played... What else did I play? I played some of the Street Pass Quest. I played... There was a... What was that music game with that extremely cartoony goth girl? Do you remember that?
Yeah, Band Brothers.
Yeah,
Not Band Brothers. That was like a regular DS, or that was like on DSiWare.
No. Band Brothers there's a 3DS one. There's a DS one. There's like a Game Boy Advance card. It's like
that's not the game I'm talking about. Okay. This is like a game like Atlas or somebody weird put out.
Boy.
Yeah. Yeah, I did play Band Brothers on the original DS. I have a copy around here. That game rules.
It does.
What else did I play? I played Project Cross Zone.
Oh god.
I picked that up when it came out, I think.
Everyone is here. Literally.
Yeah, everyone is here.
From every game ever.
Yep. Not much else really. Some DS games. Yeah. One of the best features of the 3DS, really, it can play DS games.
Yeah, I mean, you can't argue with that. That's for sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
We do have a comment from Rakya in the chat. He says, "Hey, man, I love Street Pass. So very good. Absolutely."
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I think we're all hoping it was going to be part of Switch, didn't we? When we heard that Switch was going to be portable.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of stuff that we wanted from the 3DS that that we ended up not getting.
Yeah. Now we're getting
definitely one of them though.
what's the RPG that's coming to Switch? The me based RPG.
Oh, Miitopia.
Miitopia, yeah.
Good job. Good job. Good job.
There you go. That's what you're getting.
The gang's all here.
I remember thinking that, yeah, like when Miitopia was announced for 3DS, because at that point it was pretty late in 3DS's life cycle when they announced that one, right?
Yeah.
I really liked the idea of it, but like by that point I wasn't really interested in trying it out. I was like, yeah, I don't know if I really need an RPG. So yeah, this might be a good opportunity to try that out, man. The new Switch one.
Could be. Yeah, but you have to like make all your Miis, or I don't know how you get your friends.
Right.
Like, I don't know. I mean,
that's a good point. If you wanted to actually put in people you knew, there doesn't seem like that, especially now that we don't have like the Street Pass Plaza, or like remember what was the iPhone, the iOS, Android?
Not Miitopia. Oh my God, the other, yeah.
Right.
And everybody knows.
Right?
I love that app, but I can't remember what it's called now.
Right.
No, no, that was different. That was a DS game. Yeah, whatever it was called. Yeah, somebody's going to tell us in the chat if they can remember. But
oh my God! Oh, Miitomo.
Yeah, Miitomo. There it is. Thank you.
I still have it.
The original Wii also had a way of downloading lots of Miis, right? Like the Mii channel, you could like download like Mr. T really quickly.
Right.
That was Mii Plaza. Yep.
Yeah. Well, I imagine that they could implement something like that in, like maybe people from your friend list or whatever that own the game or something.
QR codes. Yeah. Oh no, it doesn't have a camera.
Right.
Can't do the QR codes. Yeah. Something. Passwords. Friend codes for every single individual Mii.
Yeah, exactly.
Friend code.
All right then. Well, cool. So that was what we're calling it. Yeah, before the podcast. So yeah, next episode we're going to do the early NWR years. So we're going to talk about Street Pass videos and more TGSs with NWR, that kind of stuff, and more special messages. So yeah, look forward to that. Yeah, we got plenty of messages to go through, and hope you enjoyed those ones today. But yeah, that's it for Famicast 10-year celebration part 1. Danny, what we got next?
Well, we are running a little bit late today.
Right. Holy shit!
It is pretty late.
Episode.
Yeah, man. Actually, Russ Greeno sent in a bunch of questions, and I actually want to give these things like their proper. Yeah, exactly. Give them some time. So I mean, yeah, obviously, I'll throw up the little banner here on the YouTube, but obviously, if you guys have any questions or feedback, anything like that, feel free to hit us up. You can hit us up with some kind of long thing at thefamicast@gmail.com. You can hit us up on Twitter at thefamicast, sound off in YouTube comments, however you want to do it, and we'll get to your stuff at some point. I will say
Ty has one comment that he probably wants to read out, right?
Yeah, actually, Ty, could you read that? And I have one comment from a good buddy that I'll read too.
Oh yeah. I think I mentioned this in passing. Patreon comment from our best friend Lemonade. He says, I don't really play online games or care about ranked modes, regarding the AC/DC episode we did. But that was still interesting to listen to. Yeah. So, I mean, it's definitely an interesting academic subject, I think. How to do matchmaking and ranking online. It's not that easy.
That's true. Oh, actually, we got one from James Allen as well. He just came in now. I guess he's writing it. He's writing it during the show. About the same podcast, same AC/DC podcast. He says, "Great pod, guys. Now I can finally put some context to what Ty harps on about every episode. Got good netcode. Oh, and that closing music. Holy shit! Love that theme so much. Many happy hours, burning rubber on Top Gear on the SNES. Oh, that was Top Gear music.
Yeah, I don't remember what I put, but it was probably that one really kick-ass song from Top Gear.
Nice. Very good. Cool.
And again, if you're out there thinking like, what the heck episode are these guys talking about? Again, for our patrons, if you guys are our patrons, yeah, man, you guys can get some cool stuff. 64 episodes, exclusive podcasts. I'm thinking about that. That is insane.
Yeah. We went ham on those podcasts. Please enjoy. So even if you joined today, it's like you're gonna have a lot of podcasting to listen to.
Yeah.
For
I mean,
$3.
in terms of investment, it's incredible, right? You have those 60 episodes, but then on top of that, from here on out, Ty is going to be showing you how to win at crane games. He's going to personally show you how to do this.
Exactly.
Oh yeah. One cool thing about Toyota is it saves all your replays.
Ooh.
So
Cool.
I could do the kill shot compilation.
Nice.
I think I will.
Tease it with the compilations there, but then like when you do like a proper episode, like you can actually give commentary on like, here, this is what I was thinking when I was doing this,
Yeah, I can show you my secret method to easy gets. Here's a spoiler. I scroll through all 1,500 prizes and right click open a new tab, like the top 15 or so that I want, and then from there I look for the easy ones.
Cool. That's really cool.
Just take your time, boys.
Arcade owners hate him.
Yeah. Oh man.
Click here to find out why.
Seriously, man.
We got one more comment. This is from our good buddy Chariot Goblin. This is on the last episode of the show. And he goes on to say, another great Famicast. I gave the Nintendo Direct a 6 out of 10. I think 15 minutes is too long. The only interesting thing was Famicom Detective Club, Splatoon 3 is too far away, and Mario Golf has to prove itself. And I heard that your podcast turns 10 years old with the 3DS. Congratulations. Love,
wow.
Chariot Goblin. He didn't say that. I said that. But
Nice.
Nice. When he said, and the great Famicast, I gave it 6 out of 10. I was like, wait a minute.
Oh, no. No, I give the direct.
Right, there you go. That's
direct.
fine. That's fine. Good. Thank you.
Yeah, fair enough.
It gives the podcast 5 out of 10.
Got to start somewhere. All right. Well, cool. Well, that's actually going to bring Famicast 193 to a close. Again, like James said several times, and we said several times throughout the episode, this is just the start of the year of the Famicast, which is only going to last a couple of months. You do the math. But if you guys want to follow us on social media, you guys definitely can. If you want to follow me, you can follow me at DannyBiv. That's DANNYBIV. James, where can people follow you?
At Famicomplicated. That's me. Ty?
Right.
Super Cat Drugs, best Twitter handle on the net.
That's right. And Matt, where can the lovely folks find you?
I really do think Super Cat Drugs really is the best Twitter handle on the net, but I am Retro Zoko.
There it is. All right.
You can change it to Super Cat Drugs too if you like.
Open invitation, dude.
That'd be awesome.
Too late.
Oh,
just
shit,
take it.
that'd be great.
Oh.
All right. Well, Matt, dude, thank you so much for going on, man. It's always good to catch up with you, dude. And I know that, you're busy and stuff, but it's always kind of fun just to have like the whole crew together again,
Yeah.
Oh, it's great. I mean, it was a lot of fun, man. Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate it. I'm looking forward to checking out Ty's crane game videos, man.
There it is. There it is. All right. And for all you guys out there listening to the audio show, thank you so much for watching this stuff on YouTube. Thanks for that. We will catch you guys next time. Take her easy. I'll throw up a ending screen here like I should have done a long time ago. And then we'll finally...
I'm keeping it retro today, Danny.
You got it?
Famicrew out.
There it is.
Right? That's how we used to do it.
It is. So, yep. Peace.
You're awesome.
There it is.
No, you're awesome.
Oh.
What is it that Keanu? What is it that Keanu said?
No, you're right. You're right. It's what